field. Leroy, the president, Stu Young, the mayor of Langford, Jim Hartshore. And he doesn't think he can do it under pressure, but he's put $2,500 to make it tonight. And also welcome Corey Elliott, please.
Good afternoon, Westshore Rebels football fans. So, Mr. Young is here today again to kick the inaugural. Jim Hartshore, local businessman from Key Corp, and Corey Elliott have challenged the mayor to kick a field goal today for $2,500. We're going to warm up with about a 20-yarder and see how he does, and we'll go from there. So, big round of applause for Mayor Young, and we'll get out of here.
Last year.
Corey's put him on the 20-yard line. Jim never said to make it, so we'll see how he does.
That's through.
All right. Go up.
Woo! That's right, pretty upright. Superfoot Stu Young does it again. 2 years in a row, sports fans.
A big thank you to Key Corp, Jim Hartshore, a huge supporter in the community and a big supporter of Rebels football. So thank you very much, Jim.
Now, sports fans, would you please rise and remove your hats and join Maddie Packford in the singing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon, football fans. Tyler McLaren here, joined by Paul Short at West Hill Stadium. We've got a great matchup today. Football season is back on the island here. We've got two undefeated clubs, the Okanagan Sun coming to West Hill Stadium to battle with the Westshore Rebels. Paul, what do you expect from today's game between two unbeaten teams, although early in the season?
It'll be a war. Both these teams really don't like each other in the sense of football. They want to be the champions, and week two, it's a game that isn't going to define your season, but it's going to certainly set it up, especially if you have that home field advantage for the next game. The Sun come down here and knock the Rebels off. It'll be the Rebels' first loss in 10 games, which is a franchise record for them, 10 wins in a row at home. So it'll be that type of game, I think, where both teams are going to be getting after each other, but also feeling each other out because it, like junior football, it has a shelf life of 1 year because of the turnover. So it's going to be one of those games that the winner's going to feel good about it, but it's not going to define their season.
Do you think there's an advantage with the Rebels having the opportunity at home first in this type of matchup, or is that with the Sun obviously hosting later on in the season, or do you think that matters for a head-to-head matchup come playoff time?
Oh, I think it's important. I think at the end of the day, the Rebels at home have been successful, like I said, over the last 10 games. And the trip onto the island is a long, arduous journey coming from the interior. You got to get up early. You got to wait in ferry. You're eating ferry food, which is a little bit different than what you eat game day. So it's the type of thing that the visiting team has to come and be really mentally prepared to play the football game, because the Rebels are going to take advantage of everything you give them, because they are at home and they're going to come after them.
Absolutely. Both teams were coming off road victories in week 1. The Sun handled the Broncos quite easily in Kamloops. The Rebels had a tougher matchup with the Rams in Langley. Is there any advantage for the Rebels for potentially having a stronger opponent as opposed to the Sun, who maybe had a little bit lighter of a game in week 1?
Well, I guess it goes two ways. You could look at it where the Rebels had to dig down with and deal with the adversity coming back in the fourth quarter. But for the Sun, they had an opportunity also to rest some guys as the score got greater up in Kamloops. But at the end of the day, they're two good football teams. Over the last couple of years, they've each won home games, lost on the road. So it'll be a matchup of the top 2 teams in the league at this point.
Both teams featuring new quarterbacks for 2018. Mason Brown, I thought, was very impressive for the Westshore Rebels in week 1, especially with his legs. He ran the ball well as threw the ball, made some timely plays. And of course, the Sun have Jacob Lutz. So both teams featuring new quarterbacks. What's your first impression on those two guys?
Well, I thought they were very dynamic. They both throw the ball well, but the more damage they did was on the ground with their legs. So I think we're going to see a lot of quarterback runs today.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for joining us here at West Hill Stadium. We look forward to a great game between two great football teams. So sit back and relax, and we would welcome you to BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kelowna. Thanks for joining us.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. Ah, I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.
Beautiful cheerleaders from the Rebels. Look at those beautiful and handsome people out there.
Good afternoon, football fans. Joined again by Paul Short. I'm Tyler McLaren here at West Hill Stadium. Beautiful day for football. Just getting ready for kickoff here. Should be a really good game between two tight teams. Fans continue to pour in. Paul, it's good to have football back on the island and good to be in the summer and the football season.
Oh, absolutely. This is the time of year, and a lot of people love junior football, just crave to come around again. Not a bad, like you say, not a bad day. A little breeze blowing. It's been the first time in a while here on the south end of the island that there's been some cloud in the sky, and I thought the way the rain came down earlier, anybody that had a chihuahua out there had to better cover them up, but now it's not too bad.
Absolutely. The Sun will be kicking off from our right to our left. Rebels will be going from our left to our right. And we are underway at West Hill Stadium. Low line drive kick down to about the 10, picked up by number 2 on the play by the Westshore Rebels, straight up the pot. That was Kane Stevenson with a bit of a slow start, a slow return. They didn't really get his gears before he could on that return.
Yeah, the Sun were pretty quick coming downfield on coverage there, and they just shut down the lane. The Rebels looked like they're trying to set up a wedge to the left side, and the Sun broke that up pretty quick.
So the Rebels will scrimmage 1st to 10 on their own 25, gives Rebels fans the first opportunity to look at first-year quarterback with them at least. Mason Brown, number 3, looked impressive last week. Looking forward to seeing him play today.
He had a great game last week. He ran for about 95 yards, the leading rusher for the Rebels in the game, and his arm was pretty good too, tossing the winning touchdown in the fourth quarter.
So 1st to 10 Rebels on their own 25, 3 receivers to Brown's right, 1 to his left, 2 backs in the backfield. Hands the ball off straight off the right side. Good hole, good gain on first down after he got about 6 yards. That was number 21 on the play, Khalil James. A good gain on first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, it was a good play, and it was a good tackle by Tyler Going that he came across there from the backside linebacker spot to shut that down. He would have picked up the first down for sure.
Sun have a vaunted defensive line that's gotten much attention this offseason. Rebels traditionally have had a good offensive line the last few years, so that should be a good matchup today. 2nd and about 4, handoff to the left, stutter step by James, and he's going nowhere. Probably about a loss on the play of about 2 or 3. Sun got pretty good penetration on that one.
Yeah, Nicholas DeHay, number 1, came zooming in on the backside to make the tackle for, looks like maybe a loss of a yard, half a yard.
That'll bring up 3rd down for the Rebels. Punt team will come out. Good penetration by Nick DeLay there. He was one of the Sun's prize recruits from the University of Regina. Big things expected by him, according to Coach McCauley and the Sun.
Yeah, the first series of plays, too, it's important for the Okanagan to get themselves in a position to where you feel good. Just got off the ferry and you've been sitting around on a bus for 6 hours, so then you get your legs working.
Snap is good. Bit of a line drive kick to the left. Good bounce for the Rebels on the wide side of the field. Picked up, rolled all the way down to about the 30-yard line. Picked up by number 18 on the return. Dances his way and finally dragged down after about a 10-yard return. I believe that was number 18, Malcolm Miller, with the return, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was not a bad one. He let the ball bounce, and it allowed the blocking set up for him. And it was a kick where your coverage team doesn't normally go. You want the ball basically punted down on a hash mark, so you shorten the field a little bit. But they had the coverage, but he still picked up about a 15-yard gain on the return.
I guess the bounce helped the Rebels in that regard. Otherwise, if that was high in the air and the Sun receiver could have got underneath it, it could have been trouble.
Absolutely.
So another first-year quarterback for the Sun, first year at least to the Sun. Number 2 is Jacob Lukes, comes out of the AUS. Good big things expected by him as well. We get to look at him here, 1st and 10 for the Sun on their own 40-yard line. Fake handoff, throws right down the seam, almost intercepted on the play. Threw it right into double coverage. Number 33 was right there. That was Jason Piper, who almost had the interception.
Yeah, the receiver Tyson Mastodonis got a little bit knocked into his route there, slowed him down, and when Jacob threw the football, the Rebels defender standing right there.
2 Rebel receivers right there, and that was almost intercepted. And a big turnover on downs, or turnover there by the Sun, but they managed to escape. It'll be 2nd and 10 on their own 40-yard line. 3 receivers to Lukes' right. Handoff right up the gut. Short gain on the play, maybe 2 or 3 before the Rebel Red pushes him back into the Sun backfield. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Sun.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where you've got a big old line with the Okanagan Sun against a pretty quick defensive line from the Rebels, and that's where the game's going to obviously come down to, in my opinion, that and special teams. But you got to try to establish something. Both teams are trying to do that. They're going to throw the ball a little bit, but you got to try to find out, can you run the football today? And on the first 2 series here, that's what they try to do, is to see if we can run the ball.
Cautious start here by both offenses. Thought we might see a bit of a high risk, high reward play, but both offenses kind of feeling each other out, and the Sun will be punting at 3rd and 8 on their own side of midfield. Snap is good, kick is up, kick is good, right down the right-hand side. Wind kind of holding it up, down to about the 30-yard line, cuts to the left. Good downfield coverage by the Okanagan Sun there, knocking number 80 dead in his tracks with a minimal gain on the return. That was Nathan Felito on the return for the Rebels.
Yeah, Nicholas Sahay was in on the tackle, and he just was right there, made a solid tackle, wrapped him up, put him on the ground.
So good defensive start here for both clubs. Back and forth we go, and we're almost back to where we started the game on the first possession for the Rebels. They will scrimmage 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line. I would expect to see the ball in the air a little bit to one of the talented Rebel receivers, maybe Greenaway or Kane Stevenson or something a little more high octane on this series, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see Brown, move his feet a little bit more, get outside, because the Sun are pretty quick coming off the edge, and they got a very experienced defensive backfield. So Brown's going to have to move around and create his own little avenues of escape.
Hand the ball off, ball stays around on the ground again here. Minimal gain, if any, for the Rebels. They try and hand the ball off the right side. I think that was number 21 on the carry, Khalil James, for a very minimal gain on 1st down.
Yeah, again, running in the teeth of the Sun defense. The matchup, the Sun aren't that big along the defensive line, but it looks like they've gone for more of a quickness type of defensive play. And so far, and what happened last week in Kamloops, that live up to that task.
Slight delay here by the officials as they get the chain set. Minimal gain on first down, bringing up 2nd and 9. Look to be set now, and we'll get ready underway here. Brown in the shotgun. He's got a running back to either side of him. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Shotgun, drops back, looks to his right, rolls out, flushes out to the right. Here he goes, his feet again. Past the line of scrimmage, he has to go, trying to get to the 1st down mark. Knocked out of bounds, just short on the play, by it looks like about a yard from where we could tell by Connor Richard, as he kind of hesitated before he took off to running for the 1st down marker.
And Richard came from the backside there. You see in the replay, Brown has to move the feet as it all broke down. And he's trying to push it forward, but here comes Richard, number 10, and he's coming across at full speed. He's saying, I'm going to let you get that 1st down.
Connor Richard, one of the fastest players on the Sun, and maybe in the league for that matter, has great sideline-to-sideline range for the Sun defense. Returns kicks even, which is a rare feat for a linebacker / GB, but Connor's pretty athletic and does some pretty magical things out there. Looks like it is about 3rd and 1, so they were about a yard short on the play.
They're going to gamble here.
Looks like an early gamble it is. Now under shotgun. 2 backs in the I formation. Hand off to the right side. Tackled in the backfield for a loss. Nick Daly came in almost untouched. That is a turnover on down for the Sun. And they will take over in Rebel territory.
That was quickness. Just plain quickness coming off the edge. And on the replay, you'll see number 1. Delay come right across just from behind, make attacks. Just outstanding football play.
Yeah. Head coach for the Sun, Ben McCauley, said Nick Daly's going to be a tough piece of business this year, and so far just 5 minutes into the first quarter, we're already seeing good things from him. Big turnover for the Sun in Rebel territory at about their 40-yard line. Scrimmaging 1st and 10. Luke's in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Pass on first down, quick drop, quick throw, caught on the play for about a 5-yard gain. Number looks like 37 on the play for the Sun, catches the ball after for about a 5-yard gain. That was Javon Cakeley with the reception.
Yeah, just an efficient play, run a quick little stop route, throw the ball, pick up 6, pick up 7, and then you live for a second down and a decision time. You know, the Rebels now have to figure, are they running or are they throwing?
We'll call it 7 on the play. He actually got a pretty good spot there, so it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Sun at the Rebel 33-yard line. Luke's again in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right again. Early motion, no flags, quick throw again, outside of the play, intended for number 18 on the play. Malcolm Miller, ball went to his right, and he kind of looked to his left, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the Sun.
Yeah, I think he released the ball a little bit too quick, Daly did, or not, sorry, Daly, but Luke's did, and the receiver wasn't ready, and it sort of went to his right side and was incomplete pass.
Somebody zigged when somebody zagged.
Yes.
That'll bring up 3rd down here for the Sun. The field goal team is coming on. This will be about a 41-yard attempt here for the Sun.
Isaac Wagner had kicked a couple last week at the Kamloops. 40 was his longest. This will be his longest try of the year at 41.
Attempting to put the Sun on the board first. Snap is good. Hold is good. Ball is up. Ball is good. Kick is good. Isaac Wagner puts the Okanagan Sun on the board 3-0 as they lead the Westshore Rebels with about 8:22 left in the first quarter. Good first kick for the Sun as they capitalize on the Rebel turnover.
Well, you always want to make sure you're the first on the scoreboard as the visiting team. And it just builds a bit of confidence. But the Rebels, since they've been under the Charlie Cardelicchia last year and for this game this week, they've always been a come-from-behind team. You always never count them out. But again, it's only 3 points. We've still got 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. And this game could end up, scoring a total of 50 points by the way they're going.
While we have a second, the Rebels will scrimmage. Just want to thank you all for joining us here at West Hill Stadium. ECFC TV, powered by Remax Kelowna. Thank you again for joining us. Beautiful day here. Slight breeze, like Paul mentioned. Great day for football here in Langford. So we'll see if the Rebels have an answer here. 1st and 10, they will take the ball on their own 35-yard line. Sun looking to hold here, get the ball back. Brown in the shotgun, flanked by 2 running backs to either side. Steps up, has to step up as throws behind, incomplete. Sorry, just lost sight there for a second, but the ball was incomplete. Mason Brown was flushed out by Nick Daly to his right and then threw back across his body, but incomplete for 2nd down.
Yeah, he was trying to hit number 10, Cody Holmes, and it just, I think he was moving a bit to his right, trying to throw back to the left, like you say, and an incomplete pass.
You see Nick Daly making plays after play, that time forcing Mason Brown to step up and causing problems even just by getting upfield and flushing the Rebel quarterback out of the pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can get pressure coming off the edge, your decision making has to change instantly.
Pressure coming for the Sun here on 2nd 10. Luke's in a bit, but Brown in a bit of trouble and brought down for a loss of the play. Sacked as the Sun defense swarm and bring Brown sacked for a loss of probably about 7 or 8 on the play.
Yeah, again, that's Daly coming off the edge. He just looped around and he made the play. You'll see on the replay, he comes from the right part of the screen, and he just comes zooping in and beats his guy up the middle. Just a good football play.
Good hold here again for the Sun as they force the Rebels to punt, and the field position battle shifts a little bit as the Rebels are backed up and facing about a 3rd and 16 on the play.
Now the Rebels, that's one of the concerns they had this year was their O-line. There's still a few players that aren't in camp yet.
Blocked. The ball was blocked on the play. Sorry, Paul. Blocked by the Sun as they came right up the gut there. Looked like Connor Richard got his hands on the ball, blocking the Rebel punt, and the Sun recovered deep in Rebel territory.
We'll watch our replay here, but I think it was Connor Richard who got his hand on the ball.
Very, very quick play. Pressure right up the middle. That's where he came from.
Recovered by number 37, Javen Kitchell, the Okanagan Sun.
Javen Kaklia with the recovery there as the ball popped up in the air. Couldn't tell by our replay, but by the reaction on the field, it looked like it was Connor Richard who did get the block on the play.
Like he did get that, yes.
So first and 10, Sun deep in the Rebel territory, looking to capitalize, hands the ball off to the left, trying to get the corner. Number 32 brought down by a host of Rebels defenders, trying to get the corner off the left side. That was number 32, Jesse Amankwa, trying to get it, but the Rebels defense held the gain to probably about 3 on the play.
Yeah, not a bad play, just a stretch play, running to your left, and as he moves across, he's trying to just find a hole, cut up inside it, get what you can. It's going to be tough for defense. You're close to the goal line, so the Rebels are going to tighten up.
So 2nd and 7 here. Clock is under 6 minutes here at West Hill Stadium. 2nd and 7, Sun on about the 16-yard line, we'll call it. Maybe 15-yard line from our vantage point. Luke's in the shotgun, barks his signals, looks to his right, throws to his right, down the middle of the seam, caught him right underneath the goalpost. He doesn't look like he's in for a touchdown, but deep down to the Rebel, maybe 1 or 2 yard line with the Sun reception.
Just a quick little in to Spencer Schmidt, number 88. And you see on the replay here as Luke drops back, he's there, and he just catches that in right in front of the defender. Good enough for a first down, puts the ball on the 1 yard line.
Good Sun catch and pass and catch there, bring it up 1st and goal. Sun on the Rebel, we'll call it 1 yard line. Big boys are in now, down near the goal line. Luke's calls the number off the left side. He's in for a touchdown, untouched. There are flags on the play. We'll wait to see what it is here, but Luke's goes into the end zone untouched for the Okanagan Sun. See what the call is by the referees here. Sun look happy, so it could be offside against the Rebels. It is. That will be a decline in the Okanagan Sun with the touchdown. Now make the score 9-0 with the extra point coming.
Yeah, just your typical quarterback sneak. They tighten down inside, and Luke's just steps out to his left, and he's clearing. They only got a yard to go, and he's an athlete. He's going to score on those.
Went in untouched, and everybody went up the middle, and the tackle outside the tackle spot was wide open. So the extra point, kick is up, kick is good. Isaac Wegner bangs it up, bangs it through, and the Okanagan Sun with 5:06 left in the first quarter now lead the home Westshore Rebels by a score of 10-0. Fast start here on the road for the Sun.
Absolutely, the block punt, obviously that's the key on that drive. But again, you know, these teams are feeling each other out. They're the top teams in the league at this point, and you have to look at it to say, okay, how are we going to match up? What can we do? What are they going to do different? And what they've only had 1 week of film, and being relatively new teams, you know, with a lot of turnover with graduation from last year, you don't really know what they're going to be doing. But both coaches are still in the league. They have their styles. So each team has a basic idea, but they're really not set for it right now at this point because of the early season.
Just over 5 minutes left here, first quarter at West Hill Stadium. The Okanagan Sun lead the Westshore Rebels 10-0. Good pace to the early game, couple turnovers that the Sun capitalized on, and the Rebels look to get the offense on track and at the very least get a couple first downs to change the field position in their favor.
Well, I think they're obviously, you know, success has come from Brown on the outside when he goes back to pass, but the Sun defense is so quick, they're not allowing him an opportunity to set outside.
Rebels have a pretty good little return here. Looks like he fumbled on the ball on the play, but not much. Looks like the Rebels got it back. Fumble looked on the far side as the Sun bench erupted, but I believe the Rebels got the ball back. We'll scrimmage from about their own 32.
Yeah, again, very good coverage. When you're kicking the ball off and you're keeping a team inside your 40, that's darn good coverage.
Kane Stevenson with the return for the Rebels. He's another one. He can flat out run. And I know head coach Charlie Cardalicchia loves his speed on the return game and in the offense.
Oh, he's an athlete. He's one of the best athletes the Rebels have. But again, it's an offense. It's in, you know, under repair, if you will. Their O-line's a little bit, they're new. They got some young guys. And you get the timing down. Some of the players that have come down from college get used to junior ball again.
So Brown looks to throw under intense pressure again, gets the ball away, complete to number 10. Good gain for the Rebels as they complete a pass to number 10, Cody Holmes, for probably about an 8-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, that's not bad. Again, Brown making it happen with his feet.
Nick Daly under pressure again there. You can see this time the Rebels tried to cut him there on the corner and have a back to help out. Daly still got in and gave Brown some pressure there.
He's an athlete, that Daly. Sure, first time I've seen him.
He comes from the University of Regina and lots of accolades. And like I say, the Sun coaches and personnel couldn't say enough good things about him in practice and training camp and spring camp. So 2nd and 3, Rebels now. Brown in the shotgun, short drop, quick looks to throw, under pressure again, and brought down for a loss on the play, probably about a 4-yard loss, as Brown once again is swallowed up and dropped by the Okanagan Sun defense.
Connor Richard and Jamin Pelly were right on top of this. No escape road on that at all.
Jamin Pelly, another big addition for the Sun this offseason. He's a big man and a big force inside there.
He's from the university, or not the university, he's from the Calgary Colts. He brings a lot of talent, a lot of experience with him. And players like that are going to help young guys. They come from a little different, football background. So they're going to look at it to say, this is how we play, and they'll incorporate that with how they're trying to build the team, and young guys learn.
This time the Rebels get the kick away. It's a bit of a short one, but they do get the bounce to the wide side of the field again. Picked up by Malcolm Miller at his own 30-yard line, goes to his right. Probably gets about 5 or 7 on the return before he's out of bounds in front of the Rebels bench.
Again, their punts are low. The last 2 punts have been quite low, so the coverage team hasn't had an opportunity to get down for coverage, and it's allowing Miller an opportunity just to pick up 5, 6, 7 yards.
Jamin Pelly, as we were talking about, had also spent some time with the Calgary Stampeders while he was with the Calgary Colts, so it does bring a pedigree of the PFC and also the CFL to his resume with the Okanagan Sun this year.
Oh man, anytime you get that chance to get that experience.
So we have a timeout on the field. The Sun called timeout here as Luke's didn't like what he saw. Gives us a minute to once again thank you for joining us on BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kelowna. Hope you're enjoying today's broadcast. Again, the Okanagan Sun come into this game with a victory, 1-0, at their week 1 victory in Kamloops, and the Rebels, hard-fought game, but they came out on top against a very tough Langley Ram team in Langley, which is a tough spot to win, and the Rebels prevailed and came away with a big road win.
And anytime you win on the road, it does good things. It's one of those things of both teams. When you win on the road, the trip home is a lot much fun, and it's a bonding thing as well.
Absolutely. Luke's hands the ball off right up the left-hand side. Good cut on the play, flag on the play. We haven't seen very many of those, but that was a good cut. It got upfield for probably about a 7-yard gain, but I suspect this might be holding on the play.
Yeah, that's what the call is. Yeah, it's only the second penalty today, which is a stark contrast to last week's game for the Rebels when they had 34 penalties.
I almost forgot there was officials out on the field today, but there's I think our second penalty of the day, a hold against the Sun. That'll back them up. 1st and 20 after the holding call on the first down run by the Sun. So they'll be first and 20, Sun will scrimmage on their own 30-yard line. Rebels have changed the field position. If they can get off the field, get their offense back on, might have something going here.
Well, I think that's what their plan is. You don't allow the big play here. Don't allow first down. For the Sun, you just got to be patient. You got 2 downs to get the 20.
Pressure coming on Luke. He's sacked and brought down. Ball is incomplete. Another flag on the play, and we might have jinxed everything. That might be roughing the passer. No, it's actually a hold on the Okanagan Sun. Another hold on the Sun. I suspect the Rebels might decline this one, bringing it 2nd and 20.
Yeah, that was just he had pretty good protection, obviously, because somebody held, but he just a touch overthrown on this one. It's a good pass. It's put in the right spot, but just a little bit too long.
Coach Beattie dialed up a blitz there. He had a lot of good things come out with his defense in week 1. A lot of pressure against the Rams when they came right up the middle of the field. And Beattie went to the well many a time in that game and with some success.
Shane's such an intense coach that I think when he yells at players, everybody listens because he's good at what he does and he understands this league very well. And as a former head coach of the Okanagan Sun, he takes a lot of pride in playing the Sun now, and he's quite happy if they do beat them.
So the Rebels do decline the penalty there. 2nd and 20, pressure coming again. Luke's under the middle. Minimal gain on the play there as he stopped in his tracks after maybe a 2-yard pass. Now a little bit of pushing and shoving, but good on the officials. They get in there and stop that right away. And no flags, and that'll bring up 3rd down as the Rebels defense holds.
And that was just a little check down by the quarterback to the running back. And you're throwing it basically just to say, okay, let's move the chains, get the punt going. Because at the end of the day, a little check down, you're hoping that your running back is able to, create something on his own. But there was a lot of red jerseys around him.
Rebels played that one well and stopped him dead in his tracks, and the Sun will be punting. Now the field position changed a little bit as we approach about a minute and a half left in the first quarter. The Sun will be kicking. Wagner will be standing back around his own, we'll say about 20-yard line here, and Rebels should get good field position out of this with 2 returners back deep. Snap is good, kick is up, kick is good, a little bit off to the right, short. Rebels going to get great field position. Caught on a run by Holmes, flags on the play for no yards, and Holmes scoops it right around and brought down right in front of the Rebels bench. This will be really good field position as there's no yards here on the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, this should move the ball up to about the 40-yard line. And it was good coverage by number 5, Cody Thompson. But again, not a really good punt by Isaac.
No, that one went kind of off the side of his foot there, and Cody Holmes was alert on the play and caught the ball in mid-stride and in full speed. I know coaches like to see that. Instead of letting the ball bounce, catch the ball in the air, get the 15-yard penalty, and move up the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Rebels will have great field position here. About a minute 15 left here, first quarter. Beautiful day for football here. Beautiful day to be at the park, having a beer and a hot dog. And
absolutely.
Not a bad day to bring your chihuahua out of the park either, I don't think.
The sun's coming out, so you better make sure you got some sunscreen on them.
So the Rebels are going to get good field position as they head from our left to our right, scrimmaging on the Sun 37-yard line. Quick drop, Brown under pressure again, scrambles, gets away from it, throws the ball, caught on the play by Holmes, makes a man miss, and Holmes is deep in the Sun territory. Big play, first down, as he's probably inside the 10-yard line. Cody Holmes showing some speed and a burst as he broke free and got a good gain on first down after Brown used his legs.
That was a nice play again. Brown is making the plays with his feet. That's what he's noted for, and that's how this team at this game is going to have success. They got to try to get him outside.
Lots of pressure again as Connor Richard was breathing down his throat, and Brown made a great play just to buy himself a little bit of time before Holmes could shake free. So Rebels scrimmaging deep in Sun territory. Brown the shotgun, drops back, throws again outside of the play, looking for Deshaun Greenaway. Greenaway was coming in, and the ball was thrown to his outside shoulder, and it falls to the plate, incomplete. Flag on the play here as there looked to be some chirping after the play. Looking in the direction of number 55, Jamin Pelly, but we will see what the infraction is.
Yeah, I think the guys they do a lot of yapping. That junior football, unfortunately, a lot of that goes on. And
we say thank you to our friends at Fairway Markets, a proud supplier of fresh fruit.
See what the flag is? It actually looks like it's going against the Rebels.
Looks like it.
Necessary roughness.
Yeah, it looked like a UR, and it looked like it might have had a objectionable conduct penalty as well.
Referees
both of them against
speaking
the
with,
Rebels.
it looks like it. These are 1 or 2 against the Rebels. Referees are talking with the Sun, getting everything straight, finding out what they want to. Looks like they'll probably have to decline one and take another type of scenario, but we'll wait to see what they sort out here with just over 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Rebels trying to get in the end zone and cut this score from 10-0 to 10-7 here if possible.
Well, they might have been discussing when the penalty occurred. Did it happen after the play? So if you take the penalty after the play, it would be second down with the penalty. That's declined.
So an offside against the Rebels, and it looks like a UR against the Rebels. They declined the first one, so I think they had a choice there of either first at 15, first and then the penalty, or second down. So it should be second down now.
Yeah, so it was a post-play penalty then.
So the scenarios, it could have been second at 25 or first and 30 by the sounds of it. So looking at it, it looks like the Rebels declined the offside, took the UR, which makes sense, and they will be second at 25 from about their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately, penalties over the last few games for the Rebels have had an impact on their play, and it's something they got to really look at trying to clean up. Nice round pass.
Rolls to his left, throws to it down the middle of the seam, incomplete. Looking for Cody Holmes in the back of the end zone. Had the right number, and he had him there, but the ball just sailed out of bounds through the end zone.
Yeah, I think on that one that Brown just threw it a little bit too early. I think Holmes was open, but he threw it just a touch early, and he put a lot of air underneath it.
Critical here for the Rebels to get some points after the great field position and catch and run by Holmes. They will look to get on the board here with a field goal, as it's third and a whole lot for the Rebels.
I'm not sure who's...
They're missing a T, now that's brought out there.
I'm not sure who's kicking here. Rashawn Provo, or is it Cody Holmes?
Looks like Cody Holmes.
Not sure what happened to...
Provo's going to be... I don't see Kyle Clark. Is Kyle Clark?
He's not. He's on the roster, but he's not doing the kicking. And it's Cody Holmes doing the attempt here.
Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is good. So the Rebels go to Cody Holmes, and he kicks a field goal probably from how far, about 35 yards on the play. Makes the score at the end of the first quarter. The Okanagan Sun 10, the Westshore Rebels 3, as they answer with a field goal on the last play of the first quarter.
That's pretty good. You come away with that. The unfortunate thing was the penalty, but gives the ball back over to the Sun. I'm sure the Sun will probably... I guess they're going to kick off. They're asking the Rebels to kick off.
Good first quarter here at West Hill Stadium. Teams will switch sides. The Okanagan Sun, like I mentioned, are leading the West Shore Rebels 10-3. Good football game, good pace, and pretty exciting first quarter here to open the season here at West Hill Stadium.
Yeah, well, both teams are a little tentative still. You know, they're trying to make things happen, but both defensive lines are not controlling the play as you'd think they would be, but they're having an impact because the quarterbacks have to get their feet moving. And it takes a lot of, when you call a pass play and your quarterback has to run, kind of throws all the timing off. So it's one of those things they're definitely going to be talking about on the sideline.
Rebels will now be kicking off from our right to our left. So that'll be going from the left to our right. Ball is kicked off here, down to the left side. Number 35, Cakeley on the return, catches the ball in midair, cuts to his left, buried, kind of spun around, but finally buried at about his 34-yard line. Looked like he might have had a seam, but the Rebels were downfield and gobbled that up pretty quick.
Yeah, just wasn't a really deep kick, but just one that was going to, allow your coverage team to get underneath it. You start out there, 36-yard line, and not a bad place for the Rebels to have your opponent start at.
So the Sun will scrimmage first and 10 on their own 30, you call it 36-yard line. Luke's in the shotgun. 4 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. 1 running back in behind him. Barks the signals, pressure coming from the Rebels. Play action pass, throws incomplete on the play, looking for Malcolm Miller. Had a step there and probably could have turned the corner for maybe a first down, but the ball fell harmlessly to the turf.
Oh, just super pressure right away coming from the Rebels on that play. Number 15, Rashawn Provo, putting real quick pressure on Daly. On Luke's.
Yeah, it looked like Malcolm Miller could have caught the pass around the corner, just took his eye off the ball at the last second. That will bring up second and 10 for the Sun. On their own 36, Luke's in the shotgun again, 4 receivers to his left, barks the signals. Pressure again coming for the Rebels. Early movement, no flags. Sun looked to be setting up a screen, it's sniffed out. Luke's rolls to his right, throws to his right, incomplete, looking for Cakeley right at the first down marker as the Rebel defense seemed to sniff out the screen there that the Sun were trying to set up.
No, I think maybe the Sun thought there was an offside penalty and everybody kind of stopped for that split second and it threw all the timing out. And then everybody's downfield. Once the quarterback gets to the outside, you change your pattern to get back to the ball and just a low pass.
Late flag on the play here. We'll check this one out. Objectionable conduct this time against the Okanagan Sun. Looked like somebody had said something there. Might have been even quarterback Luke's.
Objectionable conduct.
Couldn't hear the number on the play, but it is objectionable conduct against the Okanagan Sun, and that will push the ball back another 10 yards. Again, these types of penalties will kill field position and flip it real quick if for no other reason, just to say something. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm sure head coach Ben McCauley won't be happy.
No, I've never understood that. The game's played between the whistles. You don't need to have comments and to push it and shove it after the play for sure.
So Wagner now standing at about his own 10-yard line or so. Gets a snap. This time kicks a bomb down the middle of the field over the head. Great bounce for the Sun as the ball goes all the way back to about the 20-yard line. No yards here on the Sun as they will now a lateral Finally dropped down. Dangerous play on the play there by the returner for the Rebels, number 80, Nathan Filito. I don't know if the special teams coach John Carlicchio will like that one. It says he's going down on the play, and that could have been disastrous for the Rebels.
Absolutely, and they just underestimated Wagner with the wind. That he got a good punt away there, and now obviously the good roll. But yeah, that was
We'll see if this is a 15-yard penalty or a 5. The ball was on the ground, which suggests it should be a 5-yard penalty. But did the Sun make enough of an effort to move and get out of the field of play?
Didn't look like it. Keith Zyla was on the cover, his first one down, and I think he didn't make any attempts.
It looks like they might only give the Sun a 5-yard penalty. The Sun might have dodged a bit of a break there, as I thought. They might have given him a 15-yard no-yard penalty, but it is 5 on the play. By the looks of it.
Oh, that kind of made up for the objectionable conduct penalty.
Yeah, that kicked them out of a little bit of trouble there as Wagner was deep in his own territory before he kicked that last punt.
And I think you're going to see the Rebels respect his leg now in the rest of this quarter.
Rebels will be scrimmaging from about their own 24-yard line, first and 10. Got to think Deshaun Greenaway is going to enter into the fray here not too long for the Rebels. He's a talented receiver.
You can't ignore him, that's for sure.
Handoff up the left side. Good cut on the play. Flag again in the vicinity of holding. This could be coming back as number 2, Kane Stevenson, got the corner for the Rebels. But I think there's probably a hold on the play bringing this back.
Yeah, usually when the umpire throws a flag, it's a hold. Got an offside against the Sun and holding. So that play will go back 5 yards and start all over again.
So it should be first and 15 if my math is correct here.
That's not a bad play. You know, Kane Stevens is such a good athlete. They can play him as a receiver coming out of the backfield. I think you'll see him carrying the ball a lot more today. I
like what they're doing with Stevenson in the backfield. Just another way to involve him in the offense. And he's a dynamic player. And sometimes it's a great threat when you can hand the ball off to him as well as throw it to him. So
absolutely.
Great way to keep him involved in the game and get him as many touches as possible.
And as the team trying to defend him, you don't know what he's going to do, where he's going to play, and everybody's got to be aware of where he is.
So it is first and 15 now after the penalties offsetting. Brown in the shotgun, barks the signals. Pressure coming again. He's got a little more time. Brown throws the ball to his right, over the head of Holmes as he was open. The ball just sailed on Mason Brown as the Rebels had a little better protection there on first down.
I think he felt a bit of pressure just coming up the middle, and he might have didn't have the opportunity to step through on the pass to keep the pass level down.
A lot of times quarterbacks, when they do get a lot of pressure, they start looking at the rush instead of the actual downfield play. So hopefully Brown, I'm sure, will be aware of that and not be focusing on the rush and just get his reads and throw the ball. Second and 15, Rebels. Field position now in favor of the Sun if they can get their defense off the field. Greenaway out to his left. Got to think they're going to take a shot at him, although he is going head-to-head with Ty Kitzman, who's been no stranger to the All-Star and All-Canadian world.
Yeah, he had a pick 6 last week.
Brown under pressure again, dancing around a little bit now, flushed out, catches the ball to Filito. He's got some room in front of him. Rebels receiver, blocker slips, but he still rounds the corner. Finally dragged down right around the 53-yard line as Filito made a play, danced his way down, and it's finally dragged down right around midfield.
Again, that's Brown with his feet, making his feet make the play. Got a flag down, but on the replay here, he gets flushed to his right, and he just keeps his head downfield and makes sure everything is squared to make the completion. And he feels the pressure and just gets out real quick.
Good dancing with his feet there by Mason Brown, buying himself some time. There's a hold on the play by the Rebels. Probably after yards gained, as you mentioned. So they will get the first down, but just be backed up 10 yards and probably be scrimmaging around the 35-yard line. Good play by the Rebels there, getting the first down and moving the sticks as Brown found Filito for a big gain there.
Yeah, he dodged that bullet. Again, making plays with the legs, and that's what he's noted for.
Clock ticking here at West Hills, just under 13 minutes here. Brown under center this time, hands the ball off. Stutter step there, straight at the middle. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. We'll call it probably 3 actually on the play. Looking to see if we can get a number there.
It's number 30. I thought it was 31, but I could be mistaken on that for sure. Yeah, they just run into the heart of the Sun defense.
A lot of bodies in there on that play. Maybe it was a 21. It looks like Khalil James 21. Now he's standing behind him to his right now. Brown on the shotgun, pressure coming for the Sun. Big pressure on. He's flushed to the left. Gonna run, dances around, makes a great move. Finally dragged down, just close shy of midfield. Mason Brown again making plays with his feet and made a Sun player missing, kept picking up the first down.
Yeah, again, the big pressure coming from Daly from the outside, but Brown just keeps his feet going, stay upright, pick up what you can, and if you're comfortable as a quarterback doing that, keep doing it. Bring yourself out of trouble.
Made a great move there on Sun linebacker Tyler Goyne as he caught him dead in his tracks. Brown made a good move and was able to sneak through for a few extra yards, bringing the ball close to midfield for the Rebels. So 1st and 10, Rebels at right around midfield on their own 54. Brown on the shotgun, barks the signals, hands the ball off. 21, Khalil James went to his right, tripped up, and probably fell forward for about a 2, maybe 3-yard gain off the right side of that Rebel offensive line.
And again, Nick Daly in on the play. This kid's all over the field. But again, it's a positive play for the Rebels. They're on a little bit of a drive here, some success after a couple penalties that hurt them. And you want to, this is the series you'd like to come away with some points, so you get into the latter parts of the second quarter, so you can go into halftime with either a lead or very, very close score.
Gain of 3 on the play brings out 2nd and 7 for the Rebels. Brown again in the shotgun, barks the signals, pass the situation here, flushed around, has some time to throw, trying to buy some more time, then dropped finally on his own side of midfield at about the 47-yard line. Couldn't find a receiver, and he's finally dragged down on the play by the Sun defense.
Yeah, just Connor Richard coming off the right-hand side, and he just forces Brown to get out of his comfort zone there, and then he says, okay, throw the ball, or I'm going to put you on the ground.
Richard, another sure tackler for the Sun. He doesn't miss very often, and he was able to wrap up the elusive Brown and bring him down for a loss in the play, bring up 3rd down.
And that's that pressure the Sun put on you. And again, it challenges the young Rebels offensive line for the protection.
So 3rd down for the Rebels. They will be kicking the ball, looking for a big boot here. Snap is good, kick is up, kick is short again to the right-hand side. Very short kick on the play, ball sputtering around. Sun pick it up, should be a no yards on the play. There's no flag on the play, but he is brought down right around the 47-yard line. Thought the Sun might get a 5-yard no yards penalty, but to no avail, and they'll scrimmage with great field position.
Yeah, I was surprised there was no flag either. But again, not a very good punt, but a short punt like that is going to allow your cover team to cover.
We'll see if the Rebels resort back to what they did in Langley, where they had onside guys down the field trying to get on the punts.
Well, I had Greenaway on the onside here to their left on that play, but the ball ended up going to the right, so they had no chance.
Now the Sun with the good field position as they will scrimmage 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line. Luke's looking to add to his 10-3 lead here. Just about 9 minutes left in the second quarter here at West Hills. Blitz coming offside on the play. Looks to be no flags, I don't see. As the ball's Malcolm Miller coming down the sidelines, caught the pass and rounded the corner. Finally pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Thought for sure there'd be a offside against the Rebels, but no flags on the play.
Yeah, it was pretty quick getting off the edge there, top of the screen, which thought for sure. And just again, a running back out of the backfield, catch the ball, get upfield, turn it up. Good block by number 37, Javen Cakley, and a 1st down. Now they're in, the way Wagner's been kicking field goals this year, they're in his range, it looks like, at this point.
Good gain there for Miller on 1st down as he showed a big burst as he rounded the corner there. Pretty good burst of speed, and now the Sun will scrimmage 1st and 10 on the Rebel 37-yard line. Very important here, I would think, for the Rebel defense to hold the Sun to a punting or field goal at the very worst.
Absolutely. I think this is your challenge now. Coach Beatty's got to get his defense ramped up here.
Luke's in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, looks to his left, throws to his left. Ball is caught on the play for probably about a minimal, probably 3 or 4 yard play. Looking to catch a number there. Looked like number 88 on the play.
88 or 82, sorry.
82 on the play with the reception
Peter
for the Sun.
Seidel.
Minimal gain, actually decent gain on the play. We call it 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. So positive yards for the Sun on first down. They will be 2nd and 6 on the Rebel 30, we'll call it 33 yard line.
Yeah, and that's the type of play the Sun like to run. They always like those comeback type pass routes. And they run them deeper on the sideline too.
Luke slips as he goes to throw. Ball got out of the way and almost intercepted as it sailed over the head from number 2. It looks like Kane Stevenson playing some defense there. Is that Stevenson or is that number 5?
No, that's Kane Stevenson.
Yeah, it is Kane Stevenson on the play. Getting a little double duty action there. Luke's dropped back there just to throw the ball. Kind of slipped. That might have thrown his rhythm off and the ball was incomplete.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I think when he slipped, he hurried the pass because there was a bit of pressure coming at him.
So this is a third down now. What do we got? About a
40-yarder. No, it looks like they're going to punt.
Play the field position game and try and pin the Rebels.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, mind you, yeah, it would be
going into the wind. I guess they decided they want to punt here. He's got the wind. So it's surprising the Sun don't try for the field goal by Wegner, but they will punt. Snap is good. High kick going to the left and headed out of bounds. Looks to be a beauty. We'll see where they mark this. Looks to be down around the 3 or 4 yard line. As a great kick by Wegner as that sails out of bounds, and the Rebels will have the ball deep in the shadows of their own goalpost.
Yeah, Coach McCauley wiring these guys up and playing the field position game.
I guess for the defense like that, it makes sense as you can force the Rebels into either potentially taking a safety situation or getting the ball back with a quick 2 and out.
Oh, absolutely. And then also from the Rebels' point of view, this is now what you practice for. You know, you're out in the practice field 6 days a week for this game today, and you do put the ball on the one and say, okay, we got to put a drive together. So they've got 7.5 minutes to go. Can you make that work?
Yeah, Wegner with a great kick, high, no return, obviously, as the ball sailed out of bounds. Exactly how you draw it up as a coach and as a kicker and execute it perfectly. Brown now forced to be under center. Pressure looks to be coming by the Suns. Hands the ball off to Khalil James off the right-hand side. Minimal gain on the play, but positive yards getting out of the shadows of their own goalposts.
Yeah, you want to create a little bit of space where if you have to kick the ball, you don't want to be too deep in the end zone and give up the safety. The closer you are to your goal line, now you can punt the ball. But at the end of the day, you still got to get a first down, and they've got 7 yards to go.
A gain of 3 on the play for James as he ran off the right-hand side of the offensive line, and it will be 2nd and 7 for the Rebels. Again, trying to get a little breathing room as we're under 7 minutes here. Second quarter, West Hills. Brown now able to be in the shotgun, flanked by 2 running backs to either side of him. 3 receivers to his left. Looks to his left, looking for Greenaway. Ball's caught by Greenaway, needing to make a man miss. Can't do it. Looks like the Sun drag him out of bounds. I think he's short of the first down of the play as he was kind of made the first man miss, but the Sun defense was over there that looked like keep him short of the first down.
Yeah, I guess he came a couple yards short. Now there's a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's a shame. Yeah, this tackle here, you got to look at it. It's a horse collar, but
number 4 had
it wasn't called.
Number 4 did have him by the shoulder there, or by the back of the jersey.
I'm sure when the officials look at their game film, they'll discuss that they missed that for sure. And that's all safety. We got to protect the players, so the officials got to make sure that they see what they see and make the proper call.
Yeah, he was out. The Sun player was out of control on the play as he was flying in there to make a play. But like anything else, you're still responsible for where your hands are going and where you're grabbing. And
absolutely,
that I would think would have been falling in the horse collar category.
Yeah, I think if you had the opportunity to challenge the play and look at a replay of it, then you can make that call. But where we don't have that, there's no replays. It happened on the field. There was no call. It's over. They'll look at it. They'll talk about it.
Yeah, only you and I get the luxury of those reviews, and hopefully you folks at home saw that as well. But the Rebels will concede the safety, making the score 12-3 for the Okanagan Sun, as they give up a 2-point deep in their territory. Just over 6.5 minutes left, second quarter. And the Sun are able to come away with points. I'm sure they would have liked to have got the ball back or punched in a field goal or touchdown, but the defense does hold and get 2 points to extend their lead to 9.
Well, you get the 2 points, and now you're going to get the ball based on the Rebels will have to kick off now. But it's a smart move by the Rebels. Don't give the Sun, a short field to work with, especially after that penalty. Even without the penalty, they might have tried to punt. You know, who knows? I'm not sure how Coach John Cardelicchia thinks on stuff like that, but you know, he's been around this game a long, long time, and so he's got lots of things up his sleeve to, you know, that'll come back and take advantage of what the Sun are going to give him.
So it looks like the Rebels will be kicking off now because of the safety. They'll be kicking off from their own 35-yard line. Sun should get some good field position here. Good first half here at West Hills. Rebels needing a hold here. Get the offense moving. The ball is up. Ball's kicked. High kick. Not very deep as it sails into the wind. Caught on the play. Straight upfield. Finally tackled on the play right around the 43-yard line. Looking to see. I think that was number 85 with the return for the Sun.
That's Kyle Zelka. And it was about a 8-yard return. Jason Piper kicking. I'm not sure why Kyle Clark's not doing the kicking today. He might have been injured, but he is on roster. Normally he does the punting and plays kicking.
I don't even see him. I'm trying to see if I see him on the Rebels bench. I don't see him. I don't know if that's an injury or not, but I don't see him over there. So the Sun got good field position here. First and 10 on their own, we'll call it 44-yard line. Luke's in the shotgun. Hands the ball off, cut to the right, stutter step. Rebels swarming, but he is able to get away on the play. I think that's a Wankwa again. There's a late flag for a late hit against the Rebels. You can see that one coming, and that will be a 15-yard penalty against the Rebels.
Yeah, Leonardo Ingram got a hold of his leg and just kept dragging him and dragging him. But again, you got these penalties. If it's against the Rebels, you're allowing the Sun an opportunity to continue drives when it just doesn't work. But the way they're talking, it might be against one on either side of the ball.
I definitely saw the late hit there on the Rebels. He was on the ground. That's the only flag on the play, and it will be a 15-yard penalty against the Rebels
here. Oh, butt tackle.
So good field position now for the Sun as they march deep into Rebel territory. Coach Charlie Cardelicchia not liking that penalty, but I think once he sees what happened there, he'll realize this guy was a little late to the party.
And he probably led with the head being that call.
The out-of-town scoreboard today, just up the island in Nanaimo, Vancouver Island Raiders are leading the Kamloops Broncos 35-0. Fourth quarter action there at Caledonia Park. So the defending champions look to have straightened the ship out and had what looks to be a big victory against the Kamloops Broncos.
I'm sure they had some pretty intense practices this week up in Nanaimo, and a tough trip for Kamloops. A very difficult trip to come down. You're coming down for the. They probably came overnight, but still, you're asking the players to give up a lot of their time, and it's a arduous trip. But you do get a ferry ride. You get a cruise out of it.
This morning we were fortunate enough to have a buffet, so that was fantastic. Although fortunately I didn't see any Okanagan Sun players partaking in that adventure. Only announcers and broadcasters. That's okay for us to get into that world.
Oh, absolutely.
Player-wise, not so much before a game. The eggs and sausages will kill you.
I'm sure they stopped somewhere for a team brekkie.
Absolutely. So procedure call against the Sun brings up first and 15 as there was early movement. Luke's in the shotgun. Swinging under pressure, setting up the screen again. It's almost intercepted on the play by number 7 for the Rebels, Eric Williams. He had nothing but green pastures ahead of him as if he caught that one. That was almost going back the other way.
Sneaky little play. He faked the little swing pass to his left and then come back for the screen inside. And the Rebels really weren't fooled on it. And Eric Williams probably had a pick 6, I would suspect, if he got his hands on that one.
Yeah, Luke's would have likely been the only guy who might have been able to catch and bring him down, but even that, with the momentum he had, that was probably going back a long way. So second and 15 for the Sun. Fans start to get into it here at West Hills. Luke barks the signals. Pressure looks to be coming right up the gut from the Rebels. It gets in. Ball is out. That could have almost been intercepted again, as there's 2 Rebels on the far sidelines. Provo was there, as well as number 25, it looks like, Ronan Silver, with good coverage there for the Rebels.
Yeah, it was a good pass. It was just a little bit overthrown. He had to stretch. And once you get your arms over your head to catch a pass, your feet have to change what their thinking is. You can't continue to run. You've got to adjust so your body gets longer, and you're going to have the coverage on top of you right away.
So the Rebel defense holds. They'll be happy about that. Should get the ball back as we approach 5 minutes here in the second quarter. Sun will be kicking on the Rebel side of midfield. Wagner kicks the ball away, straight down the middle. Holmes with the catch. Oh, he bobbles it down around his own 15. Now picks up, cuts to his left, ran laterally and didn't get it very much on the play and is dragged down on about the 15-yard line as he kind of went side to side instead of straight up the field.
Yeah, and the tackle made by Austin Daly. He's from the Calgary Colts, another player that come over to play for the Sun this year, and he's a former PFC All-Star. And All-Canadian, I think it was in 2016.
So probably a little too much dancing there by Holmes and not get it upfield, and I'm sure they'll talk to him about that, trying to make something happen instead of just one cut and go. But Rebels will be scrimmaging as they do have the ball back on their own, call it 16-yard line or so. Brown still in the shotgun. Greenaway ISO by himself to his left. He's looking that way, but he's trying to set up a screen again. Screen trying to get set up. Took a long time to get it to Khalil James. Now he does. Cuts through. Finally dragged down as he carried a few Sun defenders, and he finally brought down the 35-yard line. That screen pass took a little longer to develop than normal, but Brown is able to connect with James for a big gain.
Yeah, he had a lot of pressure, and the Suns kind of sniffed it out, but as he just dumped it up, and then James makes a good play, gets a first down, moves the ball out to the 36-yard line.
Gain of about 20 on the play. Brown quickly back up. Now looks to his left. Pressure coming again. Nick Daly, who else? Does get away. Holmes with the throw. Minimal gain on first down as once again Nick Daly was breathing down the neck of Mason Brown.
Yeah, he's putting pressure on him all afternoon so far. And they made a nice play, and it was Trey Adams makes the tackle on that one.
Yeah, minimal gain there, but it is a completion. But well, again, Brown's going to get tired of seeing number one for the Okanagan Sun before this game is over with.
He'll probably want to call a timeout just to rest for all the running around he's been doing. Being chased down.
But it is, we'll call it 2nd and 9. Brown in the shotgun again. Sun looked to be bringing pressure right at the middle. Brown actually does have good protection here. Now flush to his right and gets away from the first guy, but is buried and dropped, and that'll be a flag on the Okanagan Sun as there looked to be a helmet-to-helmet hit. Brown is slow to get to his feet. I think that's what the call is there.
Yeah,
as he kind of had the helmet-to-helmet collision.
Yeah, you can see on the replay that Daly puts all the pressure on, and Connor Richard just comes up at the end here, and he drops his head, and he's hitting head-to-head.
Yeah. 2 flags on the play. Once again, yeah, he is able to elude Nick Daly for a second there, but Connor Richard finished him off, but maybe it was just a little too much.
This might be one of those new targeting rules that the CJFL's put in this year that the U Sport's using and agreed to use. That if a player, was he actually targeted on the hit? Did he purposely? And if that happens, it'll be a 25-yard penalty, but the player will not be ejected like they do in the United States. And the BCFC executive or Rules and Discipline Committee, that's what they call it targeting. So it'll be a 25-yard penalty, and the Rules and Discipline Committee of the BCFC will be asked to look at it to determine if further action should be taken if the player actually did purposely, try to injure a player or target him.
Yeah. You are spot on, Mr. Short. That is exactly what the call is. The referee makes the signal, and I think that's the case too. Again, overzealous, and that I think he was trying to get more, just drag him down and be physical, and sometimes come in with a little too much zealous and don't know necessarily where the head is compared to where the hands are.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all about protecting everybody. We don't want anybody getting hurt. It's going to take some time to educate the players that the head is not part of the game anymore, and there's going to be the next group of players that come up are being taught this. So there'll be less and less of these type of penalties due to the fact that it's a new rule. It's kind of like when face masks were first put on helmets. You probably remember that.
I do remember that.
And, when they never used to grab your mask all the time. But
never, of course not.
But yeah, it's a safety issue, and this is the first time I would suspect in a game, probably across the CJFL, since this league is the first off in the CJFL, for this new rule to be called.
Yeah, so the Rebels will get good field position now at their own 50-yard line and a new fresh set of downs. Brown in the shotgun, looks to his left, throws to his left, overthrown on the play. He was looking for Kane Stevenson. he was kind of open, but he got kind of spun around a couple times, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
And again, Daly coming off the edge put a lot of pressure on him. And the Browns got to be thinking about him. He'll go home tonight and he'll have dreams about him.
Yeah, he'll have nightmares about seeing number 1 in his face. Most of this first half, he has been a one-man wrecking crew for the Sun defense. They're so athletic, though, when you look at the guys they got on that defense. They run well, they're physical. It's one of the best defenses I've seen in some time, even though we're still early in the season.
Yeah, and the Sun have always had, very quick, mobile defenses, but have also been a bit bigger. This year they seem to be not as tall, not as beefy.
Pressure again, and guess who? Number 1, Nick Daly, drops him in the backfield. This time Brown was forced to pull up by the defensive end, and it looks like the stunt, and Daly was able to bring him down for yet another sack on the play.
Again, just right out of quickness. That's what it's based all on. He just keeps his hands out in front of him and beats his guy right there. You can see number 1 just beat him.
Yeah, that time they had a running back on him, number 35, and that's, you can see on the replay, folks, he just got inside of him. That's a tough matchup for a running back, and Daly is too big, too strong, too athletic for number 35 on that particular play.
I think that's definitely his second sack in this half. I know he had another one, but I think it was nullified by a penalty.
So the Rebels couldn't capitalize on the targeting penalty to Connor Richard, and they will be punting now into a bit of a breeze here at West Hills as we hit the 3-minute warning. 12-3, the visitors from the Okanagan still lead the hometown Rebels.
This is an important drive coming up for the Sun. If they can stretch their lead with a touchdown or field goal, it puts a lot of pressure on the Rebels in the second half, and they're not having a lot of success moving the ball this half.
Snap is good. Miller camps underneath it. This time he catches it on the fly, tries to go to his right. Rebels downfield, good covered downfield by the Rebels, and Miller is buried at his own 40-yard line as the Rebels' field position got down on the shorter kick.
Yeah, Eric Williams and number 35, Aiden Enns Horvath was right down on top of him right away. Again, just not a really big kick, not a really big return, just playing between the 35s.
Big drive here, like you said, Paul. I think this is huge here for both teams. The Sun can capitalize with 7. That will extend the lead here at half, and conversely, the Rebels, if they can get out of here at 12-3, I think they'd probably be happy.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think obviously Coach Karlicki is going to be talking to the boys at halftime that there has to be some little improvement along the offensive line. And the Sun are going to be looking at some of the opportunities that they missed with a couple penalties. And
hands the ball off, slight delay handoff there to number 32, Jesse Amenkwa. He was going nowhere in the play as the Rebels got some pretty good penetration here and stuffed him for a loss of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, well, the Rebels came off the edge there. Didn't get the number 15 was Provo, and he just made the running back just change his feet a little bit, slowed him down, and allowed everybody else to get to the ball.
Now the Rebels looking to get a hold of maybe get their offense on the field here. 2:20 and ticking here at West Hills. Left in the first half. Sun 2nd and 14. Lukes is in the shotgun with 3 receivers to his right. He's looking that direction, throws a bullet to number 82, hits him, but it's dropped on the play. Number 82. It would have been probably short of the play on the first down, but probably had about a 10-yard gain, but yeah. Peter Zadel wasn't able to hang on.
And that was a catchable ball. You've got to catch that pass. Might not have got a first down because his momentum might have taken him to the ground, but it puts you in a position where do you want to try to go for it, or you're going to be punting to put the Rebels deeper.
So good news for Rebel fans. They are able to hold here. 2:11 left in the first half. The clock is stopped, obviously, on the incomplete pass. The Sun are forced to kick as Wagner stands at his own 20-yard line or so. Snap is good. Wagner kicks it up. Good kick right down the left-hand side. Caught on the play by number 10, Cody Holmes, trying to come back to his left, taking the long route. Losing ground here, trying to get the corner. It looks like he does have the edge on the play. Gets around the corner up to about the 52-yard line. Good return as Holmes was trying to set that up. Does get the corner as he pumps up the fans here at West Hill Stadium.
Well, you can see if we get the replay on this one, you'll notice that they set the wall on the left-hand side, and when Cody catches the punt, they converge because his first step was going to go up, and now he gets the picket set up. You can see everybody's got a guy. He's got the sideline and a lot of Rebel red between him and the sideline.
Yeah, once he got past number 9, Tyson Mastrodonis, you could see he had a wall of red in front of him and was able to get the corner for a good return for the Rebels.
Yeah, Coach John Karlicki, he just loves working special teams. That's been one of his favorite type of returns forever. Every time he's coaching, he's always got the wall return in.
So Rebels look to get some points here. Quick pass out. Brown swings it out to Kane Stevenson, looking to make people miss. Sun are all over it, and he will be dropped down for a loss on the play. I like the thought process there to get the ball out of Brown's hands and into Stevenson as fast as possible, but the talented, swarming Sun defense was able to make it for a loss on the play.
Well, I think it looked like the way Kane caught the football that he might have looked like he was going to throw it. Because it wasn't look like a lateral type pass, but it was just a quickness of the Sun defense just prevented any chance for him to throw a football or even make a move.
Couldn't have set his feet or anything there. Clock is ticking now as we're about 1:30 left here. Brown in the shotgun here, trying to get some points here before the end of the first half. Looks to his left, tries to set up the screen back to the right. He's got Khalil James, needs to make a man miss. He does, and he gets into Okanagan Sun territory. He's going to be short of the first down, but looks to probably have a gain of about 10 on the play there, but he probably will be bringing up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we'll get a flag on the play. It might have been a late hit. Not sure what there's a bunch of players down there. It looks, Coach McCauley's pointing the other way. It's a rough play against the Rebels. So that's going to
should be after the play and still be 3rd down, I would think, if it is an unnecessary roughness. Still should be 3rd down, I would think. Referees are getting things straightened away. Yeah, it is an unnecessary roughness against the Rebels. Still should be 3rd down because it is a UR, and they will be kicking the ball here. Now back deep in their, not deep, but about the 40-yard line or so. They were just across the Sun side of midfield and could have at the very least pinned them deep. And you never know, somebody might have hit somebody unnecessarily, obviously, after the play.
Just again, it's one of those things that there's something positive. You're in a position now to make something happen, and you take a silly penalty, and all you're doing, you're hurting your teammates. It's not about you, it's about your teammates. So support your teammates.
Penalty is a big problem for the Rebels in recent years and times, and even last week, as recently as last week, as they had a boatload, so to speak, in Langley last week.
Well, they had 34 last week, which set a new BCFC record, and the record they broke was theirs of 33 from 2007.
That would be a boatload.
Yeah, that's a lot of penalties.
It is. Coach Karlicki won't like that as a Rebels punt here. Miller camps underneath and now picks the ball off the turf. Rebels right there, missed tackle. No, number 52 on the play was able to hold on and bring down Miller after about a 7 or 8 yard return. And the Sun will scrimmage 1st and 10 on their own 48-yard line.
Matthew Prusen got a hold of the jersey, and there we got another
flag on the play here. Not sure if that was on Cody Thompson or if that was on number 35 for the Rebels, Ennis Horvath, but I think it was one of those two that might have said something to the other.
The Sun are moving backwards, so I think it's probably against them. But again, post-play penalties are so unnecessary, and they do nothing to improve our game. It's got to get the coaches talking to these guys and making sure that, let's just play the game. It slows the game down. You lose fans. People don't want to be here that long.
It is against the Sun. Probably, we didn't catch the number here, folks, but I think it was number 5 as we judge it by where the flag was thrown. And the Sun will be backed up. Again, they could have had great field position somewhat close to midfield and maybe got some points here with 1:09 left in the first half. Now they'll be scrimmaging back around their own 38-yard line. And I don't think Coach McCauley's too happy with that on the Sun sidelines.
No, I wouldn't be happy either. I didn't see, was it a rough play or was it just an OC?
Just an OC. Just an OC on the play. Probably said something to somebody and puts his team in a bit of a hole here. But the Sun are scrimmaging 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line, looking for points here. Luke's empty backfield. Looks to his right, throws to his right. Almost, it is intercepted on the play. That was intercepted. Great catch on the play by number 17 for the Rebels. That is Tanner Haywood, as the ball went through the hands of number 33, as he could have had a pick 6, Jason Piper, but fortunately for the Rebels, the interception was still made, and they will get the ball here.
Luke let the ball sail on him there, and just a great play by number 33, Jason Piper, to get his hands on it and tip it up. And Johnny on the spot tip drill works for the Rebels.
I think he lost his footing a little bit there, or he could have stepped in front of that, maybe taken that one to the house, but fortunately his buddy was right there to catch the tip and give the Rebels great field position here at the Sun 40-yard line with just over a minute left here in the first half. Brown looking to answer here. Lots of time. Good protection on the play. Throws the ball deep in the direction of Greenaway. Ball is up and incomplete. Flags on the play. This will be pass interference against the Okanagan Sun, and I believe that's Ty. No, it's not Ty Kitts. That's number 4 on the far side of the field, Trey Adams. And he was on the back, if you notice here on the replay, of Greenaway here before the ball got. Yeah, I think that's a good call by the officials, as we'll see on the replay right here.
Yeah, he got there a little contact, but you know, sometimes you let him play.
Sorry, that was Kane Stevenson that was throwing to. Mix up the number 1 for the number 2, but it is pass interference against the Sun. The Rebels in business here with just 59 seconds left in the first half. Looking to notch 7 and cut this to a 2-point lead for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, the Sun now taking characteristic penalties and 2 in a row and allowing the Rebels an opportunity, you know, at least come away with points here.
Brown rolls to his right, under pressure by Connor Richard. Dropped down on the play, another flag on the play, as Connor Richard hunted down Mason Brown from behind. When there's a perfect example where you see Connor Richard's speed and athleticism as he came from the right-hand side.
Flag on the play here as well, the backside. But you can see on the replay here, Connor Richard just comes zipping in. He just chased it down. His speed versus speed, and Connor won that race.
I think this could be a legal chop block on the Rebels, if I'm not mistaken, as the signal comes in. Oh, it's just a hold. Hold against the Rebels. They will decline that, and that'll bring up 2nd and long for the Rebels, as the Rebels take a holding penalty here. My guess may be on Nick Daly, but we'll leave that to our viewers, as we got a timeout here by the Rebels. They want to talk about this big play here, a 2nd and 15 here, looking to get some points here before the half.
Yeah, I think on that last play, I don't think Brown could really saw Richard coming after him until he could hear his footsteps, probably just before the tackle was made. But this is a good time to call a timeout, because with the Sun declining the holding penalty, that would have kept the clock going. So you're going to save some clock here.
Good crowd here at West Hill Stadium as we get a break and play here, as the fans have filed in pretty good and look to be having a good time. Looks like a pretty decent crowd for a game between these two rivals as of recent years.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while that the Sun have come down and played a day game. Normally they play in the evening. They play a 7 o'clock start, and they usually have a really good crowd here. But it's not a bad crowd. There's probably 1,000 people here. Yeah.
So the Rebels will be scrimmaging here, 2nd and 15, looking for some much-needed points here before the half. Cut into the 9-point Sun lead. Brown looks to his left. He's got some time now. It's evaporated, and guess who? Guess who has dragged him down for another loss of maybe about 10 on the play, probably pushing them out of field goal position.
Yeah, that went 2 ways. They had great coverage downfield, and just Brown ran out of time. He couldn't find anybody open, and that clock in his head just says, no, I got to throw the ball or go down. And
Nick Daly with yet another sack there as he brings Brown down. Saying that 5 times real fast, Brown down, but he does bring Brown to the ground for a loss on the play, and that's, I would think, at least his 3rd sack in this first half.
Easily.
Plus a whole lot of hurries.
Yeah, he's been an impact. He's bringing everything everybody's talked about that he can do. So
Rebels fail to get points here. The clock is still moving. 45 seconds of counting here. They will be punting here. High snap, gets it down. No, it looks like a bit of a fake on the play. It's caught, but they will get nowhere close to the first down marker, and the Sun will take over. The injury on the play, though, as a Rebel player is down. Now he collects himself.
That's number 3. That's your quarterback,
Mason Brown.
Mason Brown. I'm not sure.
I don't know if
he was actually it looked like is he a punter?
The snap was high. I think he just didn't think he could get the ball off.
Yeah, I think that's too quick. He just couldn't get the ball off for sure.
And again, he saw another familiar face bearing down on him as number 10 Connor Richard put the heat on him and drove him into the ground. So the Rebels can't capitalize with some points, and now they will essentially turn the ball over on the flip pass punt there by Mason Brown. The Sun will scrimmage on their own 40-yard line. 34 seconds left. Still some time for the Sun to get some points here. Luke's dropped back, looks to his right, looks to throw deep down the sidelines. Cakeley there Good cover on the cover there by the Rebels. Number 4, it looks like Deron Kerr had some good coverage there, and the ball falls incomplete, looking for Cakeley with a long pass.
Yeah, I just get upfield, I'll throw it, run underneath it. They were a little bit overthrown, and good coverage by Kerr.
Good cover there, and good pass, just falls to the turf and a little bit too far for the Sun receiver. 27, just under 27 seconds left here, first half at West Hills.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure, the Sun here, they could just run this out. They've got a 9-point lead, going to the change room, talk about it.
2nd and 10 now. Luke's in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, looks to his left, throws down the middle of the seams behind the intended receiver, falls incomplete on the play. We do have a flag on the play, and it looks like an injury to, looks like Jacob Lukes too, as he's down on the play with penalty flags probably about 5 or 8 yards in front of him.
Yeah, there's Byron McKinnon, number 8, came off the edge real quick and put a hit on him because he still had the football. And I think, was this roughing against the Rebels? I don't know, but since he went down, a trainer came on. Lukes has to go off.
See what the flag is here. Is it a hold or is it an unnecessary roughness?
Unnecessary roughness against the Sun.
Unnecessary roughness against the Sun. That should be a dead ball foul on 3rd down. They should be punting on the play as Isaac Wagner comes on the field. Now you got to think, if the Rebels can get any kind of return, there's 24 seconds left on the play. The clock is stopped. It will be starting on the snap of the ball. The Rebels can get any kind of return here. Maybe a last-minute field goal potentially.
Yeah, I would think, they'll probably set up another wall return. Try to do that, I would think. The Sun have to cover, obviously, but they've got to stay away from the penalties. This is where you got to come out of the play. You can't take a no yards penalty. Rebels can't take a legal block penalty. You want a good chance with 24 seconds to go to get some points here.
Wagner kicking from about his own 10-yard, standing on his own 10-yard line. Snap is good. Kick is up. It's a high, booming kick, driving the ball down to Holmes. Fumbles the ball again. Now picks it up, dances around, and is buried by Nick Daly on the cover team. Rebels will be scrimmaging 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Holmes had a bit of a trouble fielding that punt.
Yeah, he's had that trouble all afternoon, really. I don't know if he's maybe not seen the ball that well when it's up there, but he's dropped it 2 or 3 times. And no harm, no foul. 14 seconds to go. They just might kneel down here, let the half run out, go in and talk about it, and come back out second half.
Yeah, 14, just over 14.1 seconds left here. I think the Rebels have at least one timeout, but wouldn't be surprised here to see either a knee or perhaps hand the ball off and get to the half and regroup here for the second half.
Yeah, the wind's picked up, so it's going to be difficult throwing the football into this wind. It's going pretty good right now.
Brown does hand the ball off to James, cuts to his right. Sorry, that's Kane Stevenson, makes a man miss, but is dragged down after about a 2 or 3 yard gain as Rebels look to play it safe. Do exactly that, just get out of the half here, trailing 12-3.
Yeah, just run this next play. They'll probably kneel down and
Good job, man.
Go in and talk about it.
Barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the first half. The Okanagan Sun lead 12-3. Defensive battle here at West Hill Stadium. I think that was in the. I had a feeling there would be a game similar to this, as the Rebels now are in their shotgun. Zeros on the clock. Brown hands the ball off. Stevenson off the right-hand side, looking for positive yards, trying to get the corner. Good tackle on the play by the Sun corner after about maybe a 2 or 3 yard play. Yeah. That will be the final play of the first half. A little push there by Tyler Goyne for the Sun, but nothing looks to come of that. And the Okanagan Sun head into the locker room up by a score of 12-3.
Yeah, that was a nice play there. Number 24, Dustin McGee, just gets up and he just stopped Kane right in his track.
So once again, as the teams go to head to the locker rooms, slowly head to the locker rooms, as there's still some talking between these two rivals. The score at the end of the first half, the Okanagan Sun lead the Westshore Rebels by a score of 12-3. Once again, thank you for joining us on BCFCTV.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. We hope you enjoyed the first half. Interesting first half, Paul. I think there was obviously a very defensive battle, two teams that have mobile quarterbacks, but the only thing I would say is when you have a mobile quarterback, sometimes they're subject to some big hits. And I think Mason Brown and Jacob Lutz were we're right on the crosshairs of those in the first half.
Yeah, and I think both teams, they're feeling each other out because they know they're probably going to end up somewhere towards the end of the season playing each other for the, in a playoff game. But I think you always revert back. When you feel something, you revert back to what you do the best. And now if you're a running type quarterback, that's what you're used to using your legs to get out of trouble. So I think that you'll probably calm down in the second half. Hopefully some of the emotions have been taken out of the game now that they've been able to talk to each other on the field. And we'll have a good second half, where people can go home and say, hey, I love watching junior football.
Absolutely. For the Rebels, offensively, obviously only 3 points in that first half. To me, it's pretty straightforward. They have to find an answer for Nick Daly and the Sun defensive line to get some pressure there. Or Mason Brown, like you said, going to have nightmares in his sleep after this one.
Yeah, and then I think you also have to look at the wind picking up. You better tie down your Chihuahuas because you don't want to have them blown away.
For the Sun, I think they'll be fairly happy leading this on the road, making the long trip. They will have the luxury of I believe getting the ball to start the half. They must, if you're head coach Ben McCauley, you're probably not happy with the penalties in the first half. Very uncharacteristic of the Sun, and I'm sure he will address that as they head into the locker room.
Yes, that's for sure.
So we'll take a break here at West Hill Stadium with the score once again. The visiting Okanagan Sun lead the Westshore Rebels by a score of 12-3. We will be back for the second half. Once again, thank you for joining us on BCFCTV.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. Hope you're enjoying the first half, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Coast Capital's role is we're the tour sponsor of the Canadian Cancer Society's Cops for Cancer Tour. It's a cause that's really important to a lot of our staff. I mean, who hasn't been touched by cancer?
I've had a lot of family members affected by cancer. Knowing that all that I watched my family members go through when they fought this disease, you would never ever want a child to have to face that.
This is an opportunity that we can work towards a cause to make the lives of kids who are suffering from cancer just a little bit better, even for a short period of time, by sending them to camp.
Camp Good Times is one of the most amazing parts of being a Cops for Cancer rider.
Every single year, the tour actually gets the opportunity to go to camp, and it is a magical place.
I would just say, after you spend time at Camp Good Times, two things change forever. Your definition of what is courage is never the same, and your definition of I've had a bad day is never ever the same. And every time you're climbing a tough hill, you know this is really nothing compared to what the children and their families go through.
And that's what helps me. I just think of the battle they have to battle, and it's really not comparable.
Coast Capital's promise is to build a richer future for youth. That's why this particular campaign is such a good fit for us.
Having Coast Capital involved is so helpful, and just having a good, consistent, strong sponsor allows you to be a much bigger help for families.
Our staff do an amazing job of spearheading some excellent fundraising campaigns, and they're just extremely passionate about this cause. These kids are going through so much, and what a better opportunity to sort of help them through that journey that they're going on and build a better future for them.
Give me a kiss. I love you.
22-year-old Khalil James has a little more on his plate than most of his Westshore Rebel teammates.
When I had Callie, it completely changed my life. Like, just becoming literally from a boy to a man, and having Callie was the best thing ever in my life, literally.
Earlier in the year, Khalil was recruited by the Rebels and moved his entire family, including 2-year-old Callie, to the island.
So welcome. This is my home.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're gonna leave us? What's gonna happen? And he's like, so, like, what do you think about coming? And I was like, whoa, you want me to move across, like, the continent with you? I'm like, all right.
It was challenging at first, just to figure out everything that we needed, like, just to get here.
I'm from Toronto, so we don't see, like, mountains, we don't see, like, pretty beaches, and there's lots of, like, parks for the kid, which I just loved.
On the field, James is stepping into a big role, with Jamel Lyles and Trey Campbell posting MVP caliber seasons at running back in previous years.
But it's kind of a good pressure. It's just knowing that I have so much to fulfill that, I mean, I don't really have a choice but to, right? So kudos to Trey and Jamil. They're two really good players, and I plan to continue to the legacy of the running backs on this team.
After taking a full year off of football due to family issues and the birth of Callie, James returned to the field in week 1 and scored a touchdown in his first game back.
And finds the end zone easily untouched as he walks it in.
Man, it was the best feeling ever. Like, especially being out for a year and just coming back and just playing and scoring your first game is probably like the most exciting thing for a player. So it was a really good game. We're gonna tear it up this season? Yeah.
With his family by his side, Khalil James will look to cement his legacy as a Rebel.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, watch and record 4K at the same time. Can't decide which of your favorite 4K shows to watch, Susan? Well, with pure fiber, you can watch and record 4K simultaneously. TELUS Pure Fiber. TV reimagined.
One more time, give it up for your cheerleaders. We know how hard you girls and guys work at this. We know hours and hours of sweat. Like to welcome our sponsors. Check 6 is in the house. The cameraman, turn that camera towards the best fans in Canadian football. There he is. Going to be on TV tonight. That's it. Turn that camera up here.
My name is Chris Gress, and I am the brewmaster and partner in Red Arrow Brewing. We opened in June of last year, so we've just passed our first fiscal year. It's a pretty exciting and fun time for craft beer in BC in general, and we're very excited to be, the first microbrewery in the Cowichan Valley. We didn't really want to do things the way that most other breweries or a lot of other breweries like to do them, so we really kind of stuck with some of our ideas of some of the beer styles and our original arrangement of beers, and some of them have worked very well and some of them needed a little bit of tweaking, but overall I think it's really kind of paying off for us to kind of do things our own way in the marketing side and specifically the merchandising side. A lot of people say that our merchandising program is beyond what is really kind of expected for a brewery, but this is a really significant part of our business that we're very proud of. Well, we're open 7 days a week, and people can come in and get a tour. They can pick up some merchandising or read about local craft industry or learn a little bit about the area. Growler fills, we do just an extraordinary amount of growler fills. We invite food trucks in over the summer, and now we're running our own food truck Wednesday to Sunday, and we're just going to start incorporating that with different events in the valley and tourism. We have a local celebrity, if you will, Dan Hudson, who's joined us to put up some pretty exciting products from the food truck. He's a great chef. He's been on some national TV programs, Top Chef Canada and Chopped, I believe. Just a treat to work with another person that's just so passionate about the things that they do and the things that they create, and it just shows in the product that comes out. I really enjoy what I do, and we're really fortunate to have the people involved that we have involved, and I believe I've said already, it's a pretty exciting time for craft beer industry in BC and tourism in the valley.
Welcome back to West Hill Stadium here with just a minute till the second half kickoff. Just want to take a quick minute to update the out-of-town scoreboard. Final score in Nanaimo is the Vancouver Island Raiders defeating the Kamloops Broncos by a score of 42-0. Raiders improved to 1-1 on the season and winning in their home opener. Broncos falling to 0-2. Will host these Westshore Rebels in week 3. And also just a reminder, folks, that if you're available tonight and you want to see some more BCFC football, there is a 7 o'clock game tonight at Exhibition Stadium as the 1-0 Valley Huskers are coming off their big victory in week 1 over the Vancouver Island Raiders, hosting their crosstown rivals from Langley after the Rams looking to rebound after a tough loss to these Rebels in week 1.
That'll be interesting. You know, you're not, everybody looks at Chilliwack, you know, they're 3 years without a win, and then you knock off the Raiders. You don't know where they're at. And they've got a quarterback similar to these two guys that are playing here today that can make things happen. He's got some, college experience. So, Chilliwack's turned the corner. I think Coach Bob Reese has got them in a position to say, now let's shake this league up a bit.
Yeah, Julian Winnick, the Huskers quarterback, looked very impressive in week 1. Look to duplicate that effort against the Rams in week 2, and that should be an exciting game at Exhibition Stadium. But we are back here and have a second half here at West Hill Stadium, and the Rebels will kick off. The Sun. Rebels will be kicking from our right to our left. Sun will be going from left to right. Ball is up and down to about the 25-yard line. Trips over his own feet a little bit on his own teammate and finally dropped down. Looks like Cakeley on the return, I believe. Good downfield coverage by the Rebels. He's down around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it was just, again, he tripped himself up, but good coverage by the Rebels to prevent. It was only about a 5-yard return. And there was tackle there by number 43, Caden Smith. And it's one of those things that now the Sun have to say, okay, we got the wind at our back. It's slowed down a little bit, but they got to do some positive things. They ended the first half very sloppy, and with 2 or 3 major penalties that just took them right out of rhythm.
Yeah, looking forward to this second and a half here. Sun will scrimmage on 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line.
Got a new quarterback.
Hand off the ball. Let me just see who. I think that was a Wankwe, number 32 for the Sun. Jesse Amankwa with the ball carrier. Sorry about the pronunciation there. I was trying to see who was in a quarterback for the Sun. Trying to catch a number, Paul. Can you see that?
17, Matthew Mahler's in a quarterback. I guess, not sure because Luke's got hurt in the first half there on one of those sacks.
And I saw him come out talking to head coach Ben McCauley, but didn't seem to be favoring anything or laboring. But we'll see what happens here as the second half progresses. 2nd and 8 for the Sun. Passing situation here. Stops, quick throw to the right. Ball goes incomplete, looking in the direction of number 18, Miller, but he hadn't turned his head around by the time the ball got to his feet and falls to the floor for incomplete pass.
Yeah, I think it was just Mahler was a little bit quick on the release there. But Mahler's got some experience. He played about half the game last week in Kamloops. And if I can find my stats here, he ended up, he was 6 of 14 for 82 yards and a touchdown. So he's got a little bit of experience coming in here in week 2.
And Luke's took a couple big hits in the first half there, so not sure if that is an injury-related situation or the Sun looking for a different look here. 3rd down here, good kick by Wegner, high spiral driving the Rebel receiver back, catches over shoulder nicely as Holmes down around his own 25-yard line, kind of going backwards here, now catches his feet and dragged down as the Sun swarm and bring him down for minimal, if any, gain on the return.
That was a nice play. Number 29 on the Sun, Brendan Ripko made the tackle, but it was the first punt, I think, that Cody's caught cleanly, and he just couldn't make anything happen going to his left and cutting back to his right.
Yeah, great catch over the shoulder there, but wasn't able to get upfield before the Sun brigade ended up swarming in and closing in on him, bringing him down for minimal gain on the return. But the Rebels, as the Sun comes out here at West Hills, will scrimmage at their own 20-yard line. Starting to get hot down there now as you see shadows on the field. Mason Brown still a quarterback for the Rebels. Quick pass out as he zips it out to Khalil James. Really well read on the play, and the Sun bring him down after on a loss of the play. Looking to see if we can see a number there.
That's Trey Adams, number 4.
Trey Adams, number 4. Great defensive play for the Okanagan Sun as they tried to zip it out to Khalil James, but it is a loss of 5 on the play, forcing the Rebels back deep in their own territory.
Again, that's just where speed helps. You got some speed in the backfield. They can cover very quickly to prevent any plays from being positive.
Yeah, 2nd and very long here for the Rebels. Mason Brown in the shadows of his own goalpost now. Deep in his own territory, rolls to his right. Pressure comes from the Sun left, and he is buried, gobbled up, and dragged down. Minimal, if any, gain. He might have actually lost another couple yards on that play.
Jim Impelli again on the tackle. He's been a force inside. And he's that big man from Calgary. And He's showing everybody as he walks off that he made the tackle.
Yeah, Rebels tried to roll Brown out to the right, and the Sun blitzed right into it with a guy coming off their left-hand defense and left side. So not much was going to come out of that, and the Rebels will be kicking very, very deep in their own, probably be standing in his own end zone on this particular play here.
Yeah, look, I think he lost a couple yards that last play, so I wouldn't be surprised here if they give up the safety like they did in the first half.
Yeah, kicking into the wind. It's not stiff, but it's enough to affect punts and throws for sure. Snap is up. We will see a knee here, and the Rebels will concede the safety, making the score with just 12:01 left in the third quarter. The Okanagan Sun get another safety and now lead the Westshore Rebels by a score of 14-3. Rebels just going backwards on that particular offensive drive and forced to give up a safety, and Sun lead expands to 11.
Yeah, and I think that doesn't really hurt you, but now you've got to make sure you start to play some football. You got to be able to protect. They got to keep Daly out of the backfield, and for the Sun, they've got to just get a rhythm going and get back to what they do best, is what they call very disciplined football. But with Luke's out, I'm not sure how that dynamics is going to change with Mahler and a quarterback, because Luke's is the quarterback, number one quarterback for a reason. So it's not often you rely on the second guy right away. And unfortunately, that's maybe what's happened. And Luke's sustained an injury to put him on the sideline.
Yeah, you'd think you might see a lot more of Jesse Amenkwa in that second half and lean on that big offensive line for the Okanagan Sun and the running back tandem to hopefully preserve a victory for the Sun.
And I wouldn't be surprised, with the Nathan Millard's defense with the Sun. I'm just told they've got to tune it up here and make sure it works.
Cakeley takes the return off the right-hand side there, gets positive yards before he steps out of bounds. Should be scrimmaging from about the 47-yard line here as the Rebels squib kick that ball off with the Cakeley with a decent return, and the Sun will have good field position here for Mahler on the first down play for the Sun.
And Aiden and Torbath, who made the tackle there, came up limping a little bit. You see him running off there with a limp, and trainers will take a look at him.
Mahler still in at quarterback here as the fans here at West Hill start to cheer on their defense. Three receivers to his left. Hands the ball off to Owenko off the left side. Gains about 5 on the play for the Sun. Bringing up 2nd and 5 as he just ran the ball left-hand side. That was Jesse Amenkwa with positive yards on first down.
Yeah, just one of the first plays you put in as you're putting your offense together, just a straight handoff off tackle. And all that's doing is making the defense move their feet, but it also creates some lanes where you can cut it up or run to the outside. But again, anything positive in a game like this keeps the clock rolling and you're still in possession of the football.
2nd and 5, Sun. Hands the ball off to Owenko again, off the right-hand side, breaks a couple tackles, bowls his way into Rebel territory. Finally dropped down at the Rebel 50-yard line. Good run right up the middle and straight ahead running by Owenko for a first down.
It was a very nice play. A little trap play involved there where they pulled a couple guys, kicked them out. He found his hole, ran over out of one block. Yeah, just a positive 10-yard run. Again, keeps the clock rolling and Sun in possession of the football.
Straight ahead running there, and Sun will get a first down on the play, scrimmaging at the Rebel 50-yard line. 10.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Sun looking to expand their lead. Handoff again, straight up the cut. Stopped on the play, initial pressure there, and dragged down. Good Rebel defense there, stopping him to about a 2-yard gain on the play. Provo was in there, stopping the Sun back for a minimal gain.
Yeah, he was in the backfield pretty quick. Provo, I think he says, I had enough of this. Let's stop this guy.
The Sun offensive line is very big and comes in well advertised, so I don't think the Sun will have a big problem if they want to switch this to a ground game or a passing game. Their offense is pretty dynamic. Mahler in the shotgun again. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Hands the ball up. No play action pass here. Rebels read it well. Pass is thrown out behind the receiver, but it is caught. He looks to be about 4 yards short of the play, but there is a penalty flag on the play.
It might be rough play against the Rebels.
Roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Costly penalty as the Rebels were going to get off the field, and now they take an unnecessary rough the passer. Now the Sun will get a first down on the play.
Yeah, Leonardo Ingram was in on the rush on the passer and just had to wrap them up and took him to the ground. All he had to do was just hold him up. And the Sun would be in a position now to decide we've got to go for it or punt the football, but instead they keep the football due to the penalty.
Yeah, sun comes out here as it's pouring down on West Hills. Lots of shadows on the field. Fans are really getting into it. Just we're giving out pizza here at West Hills and getting the fans all revved up as a few people are enjoying a slice.
One thing I want to mention that the Rebels this year, they've got 3 generations of Kartalickias involved, with John, Charlie's father, and John was the head coach of this team back in the late 1990s through to about 2004. And Charlie, who played for this team from 98 through to 2002, now the head coach. And now Charlie's son, John's grandson, Isaiah, is on the team. Made right out of high school, made the team in his first year. So it's kind of neat. I think it's really probably cool. The best scenario you can have for the growth of the game and the family involvement. It's probably the first time in the CJFL that there's actually been 3 generations at the same time involved with the football team, actively involved with the football team.
It is pretty cool indeed, and the Rebels lucky to have those guys. Sun scrimmage, first down, straight ahead. Owankwa bowling his head down and trying to get positive yards. Probably picked up about 4 on the play. Straight ahead running as the Sun driving into Rebel territory.
Yeah,
maybe about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Tanner Haywood and Kane Stevenson
6
on the tackles, and that was a very explosive run with dynamic tackling on that last play.
Yeah, Jesse Owankwa getting lots of carries here in the third quarter for the Sun. Gotta think Shane Beatty might dial up a blitz here.
And it's also, I think the Sun, maybe they recognize if Luke's is really hurt and he's not able to continue, that they're asking the offensive line to take this game over, and we're just going to follow you guys.
Timeout on the field here by the Rebels as Coach Beatty looks to dial something up here on second down. Yeah, it's a pretty cool story about the Kartalickias. Of course, when I was playing in the league, John was the head coach of the Rebels and played against Charlie, so it's many years of history, and that's a pretty cool stat. And I don't think that's pretty cool when you got 3 generations on one sidelines and one bench.
Oh, absolutely, and and the Kartalickia, especially John, has such a big influence on football in Victoria. He's coached from the little guys like the Adams 9-year-olds through to the juniors. He was with UBC 3 years ago when they won the Vanier Cup, working with the defensive line. So he's got an extensive background, but just how he works behind the scenes to keep this going, and let alone just having the players finding jobs for the guys and helping them out with that type of thing.
Play action on the play. Mahler had all kinds of room as he sucked the whole Rebel defense into the play fake there. He rolled out to his left and had nothing but green grass, and he probably could have easily ran for the first down, maybe even probably got close to the goal line there, and yeah, there was nobody there and threw the ball incomplete.
It was interesting. Maybe he was told throw the ball because he had a first down for sure, and maybe he would have scored. Yeah, it was interesting.
Rebels definitely hunkering in for the run there, and a good call by the Sun, but just couldn't connect on the pass. Now we'll bring out Isaac Wegner for what looks to be about a 30-yard attempt.
Yep.
Late substitution for the Sun, but they are in. Looking to expand their lead to 14 points. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. Flags on the play. The field goal is good. And the Okanagan Sun, with flags on the play, tentatively are leading the Westshore Rebels by a score of 17-3. But we'll see what this flag is on the play.
Holding
against the Rebels. Strange play on a
I think I'm taking points off the board, I think, on that one, and taking the first down.
Should be a first down for the Sun, I would think. They look quite happy on the sidelines there.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's happening. It looks like Mahler's coming back out. So they take the penalty, take the points off the board.
Very rarely do you see that on a defensive, on the defense when it's a field goal holding point.
Yes, yeah.
Must have been something in there that the ref saw. And that hurts. Rebels could have got off the field still with it in possession of down two scores. Now could be staring at the possibility of 3 scores here if they're not able to keep the Sun out of the end zone.
I'm not sure what he called there. The head official, Heath Edelston, signaled illegal procedure.
No,
I'm not sure. So maybe it wasn't a hold. It was illegal procedure. I don't understand that one, but
I'll have to watch that one on film later, folks. Sorry we couldn't, the signals were to the far side of the field and we couldn't see from our vantage point here, but we do know the Sun are scrimmaging 1st and 10 on the Rebel 15-yard line, looking to expand their lead, still 14-3. Hands the ball off right at the middle, breaks a tackle. Owankwa again breaking tackles, finally brought down by a sea of red, but very positive gains as he looked to have about 7, I would say, on the play.
That was a very nice run. The last 3-4 yards was all him. It wasn't until number 33, Jason Piper got a hold of him.
Very straight ahead runner that we're seeing here, and I like how he runs, just pulls his head down, gets what he can, and doesn't dance around.
That was a good run. That's about eight yards for sure.
About 8.5 on the play even, setting up another potential running play here. 2nd and 1.5, we'll call it. Mankwell with the ball again, cuts to his right, straight out the right-hand side. Not quite into the end zone, but does move the chains for the Sun as they get down probably to about the Rebel 2-yard line. Will be 1st to goal on about the 2.
Yeah, Pierrick made the tackle on that, number 40. It looks like, 1st down, and they're knocking on the door. Time's on their side.
Approaching the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter, Sun leading 14-3. Fans getting into it here at West Hills, trying to keep their team from giving up another touchdown. Mahler in the shotgun. Why not? Hand the ball. No, he play fakes it, pulls it. Read beautifully on the play by number 8, Byron McKinnon. He didn't bite on that at all, and he brings the Sun quarterback down for a big loss on the play.
I don't understand that play, but you're asking your quarterback that doesn't have the same type of speed that Luke's has, but
yeah, when I see that, I always go, you're down around the 2-yard line getting positive yards. Why not just keep it going and hand the ball? You got 3 cracks from the 2. You should be able to get in with that. The way Amanko runs the ball and with that massive offensive line, now you're 2nd and down. You're 2nd and goal from about the 10. Big play here, probably passing situation here for the Sun.
Oh, I think the Rebels will dial up some sort of blitz here for sure.
Here they come, and he is dropped down and buried around the 15, I would say. Maybe even back around the 18-yard line as the Rebel defense gets in for a sack, pushing the Sun back.
He had no time. He's looking at the rush, like you say. He sees it coming, and he feels it right away.
Yeah, trying to see if somebody was in there real early for the Rebels.
That was number 43.
So we'll be back to where we were before, an Isaac Wagner field goal. This one looks to be about a 27-yarder on the play. Rebels defense holds. I think the Sun will be kicking themselves a little bit there when they had 1st and goal on the 2 and look to now have to settle for a 27-yard field goal. High snap, trying to get it down, does a great job, but the kick is wide. A bit of an error there as the snap was very high on the play and the holder couldn't get it down before the kicker kicked it off and missed it to the left.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you say, they'll talk about it on the sideline because they had a tremendous opportunity to open this game up big time, but now the Rebels still have possession, only down by 12.
Yeah. That was a lost opportunity for sure for the Sun. They'll be kicking themselves when they head back to Kelowna and see that one when they were 1st and goal on the 2-yard line, and unfortunately only come away with the old rouge, as they say.
Yeah, it's true, yes, the rouge.
Once again, thanks for joining us on BCFCTV.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. Hope you're enjoying today's broadcast from West Hill Stadium. Beautiful day for football, and the Rebels are scrimmaging 1st and 10 on their own 35. Hands the ball off to James out the left side, breaks the tackle. Now up to the 40, 43. Good run there on the play by Khalil James as he looks to be about a yard or so short of a 1st down. Great run on 1st down for the Rebels.
That was a really good run. It just they blocked off the left side of the offensive line, and the Sun were kind of caught. I don't know if they're caught flat-footed or not, but they were very slow reacting to the football. We haven't seen that type of run in this game yet from the Rebels.
Mason Brown under center on 2nd and 1. Hands the ball off. Dennis Horvath straight up the gut, gets the 1st down on 2nd and short. Rebels will move the chains as they just hand the ball off on a quick dive, moving the chains and giving themselves another 1st down. Under 5 minutes left here. Clock continues to tick. 15-3, the Sun lead, and then Rebels are moving ball up around their 47-yard line or so.
Yeah, 47, yes.
Again, I keep waiting for Deshaun Greenaway. They might go dial in the direction again. Cody Holmes. We haven't called his name much in the second half here, but lots of weapons here for the Rebels to go to. Brown in the shotgun, blitz coming for the Sun. Throws, no, he cocks his arm, does zip it in there. Good run there. And now here goes Kane Stevenson well into the Sun secondary. Finally dragged down on the play around the 25-yard line by the Sun defense. Big play by the Rebels. Brown made a great play. He kind of double clutched it and then found Stevenson for a big gain.
Yeah, again, that's where Brown's feet come in handy, where he is able to move, lead in the pass. Just gets out to his right, throws off his back foot, and Stevenson just hooks up. And Tyler Goings finally, at one point, has to make the tackle here as he slides in from the backside.
Yeah, Mason Brown almost lost the handle on that throw there, but he was able to keep it, double clutch, and find Stevenson. And the Rebels deep into Sun territory. 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Brown in the shotgun. Pressure coming again from the Sun. Dials it up, throws to the end zone, incomplete. Looking in the direction, I think, of Stevenson again. He kind of cut in on the inside part of the Sun defensive back, and if he went outside, might have been there, but the ball falls incomplete, bringing up second down.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to do an out and up, and the Sun defender cut him off, and it ended up where he had to throw the ball into a spot, but the receiver wasn't at that spot.
I think if he was able to get to the Sun defensive back's outside shoulder instead of his inside shoulder, they might have had something. But again, positioning by the Sun defender forced the Rebel receiver inside, bringing up 2nd and 10. Right around the Sun 25-yard line. Brown in the shotgun. Looks to his right. Now comes back to his left. Gets outside. Pressure coming from the Sun. Throws the ball, caught by Greenaway. He's going to be short on the play. Short of the first down on the play, but positive yards for the Rebels as he looks to be maybe 2 or 3 yards short of the first down, and now decision time for head coach Charlie Cartalicchia.
Yeah, so again, it's just Brown making plays with his feet, finding guys open. Sun put some pressure on there, but they aren't able to get to him.
What do you think here, Coach? Is it time for a gamble, or do you take the 3?
I think you got to take the 3 because at some point you have to score 2 touchdowns. So the closer you get, 15-6, field goal and 1 touchdown. Still lots of time left.
Lots of time left. Probably smart to take the points, and that looks to be what they're looking at doing.
I'm not sure who the place kicker is here.
I think it looks like Cody Holmes again. Yeah, it is Holmes.
Right. He got the first quarter field goal.
So this will be a bit of a chip shot, probably about the 26-yard variety. Holmes kicking into the wind here. Movement on the play. Bad snap on the play. Big pressure there by Provo. He looks to be getting away from it. He does throw it. It's caught on the play by number 12. Down, getting close to the Sun goal line. Finally dragged down on the play at the 5-yard line. That was a bit of an adventure, but it seems to have worked out for the Rebels. They have a first down on the Sun 5.
That's kind of interesting because that pass went to Isaiah Cartalicchia for the first down.
Look at this. If we see it on a replay here, folks. Not so sure if the snap was low or if it just was not handled properly. The snap is definitely a little bit low. Goes in the feet there of Provo. Then he comes out, as you can see on a replay. A good alertness there and throws the ball. I'm not even sure if he's left-handed or if he just threw that with his left hand.
He might have just thrown it. It looks like Pelly's down.
Yeah, injury on the play on that one.
I think that's J-Min.
Surprised there was no downfield, like offensive lineman downfield on that pass.
Yeah, I was surprised at that as well. That was my first thought.
But lots of times you see that happening, and it works out. But unfortunately, if there's linemen downfield, it's obviously an infraction.
Very alert play though by Provo to well, obviously number 19 on the Sun. Cole Strager almost had the tackle. But Provo broke that one and just found Cartalicchia wide open for Cartalicchia's first stats of the year.
Head coach Ben McCauley well onto the field to chat with the referees. Now heads back to the Sun sidelines. Injured Sun on the plate. Did he make out a number there, Paul? Or?
I think it was J-Min, number 55.
Is it? I don't.
57, sorry.
57.
Connor Novak.
Looks to be getting to his feet, so that's good news. Good to see Connor back on his feet and making his way under his own power to the Sun sidelines.
Yeah, because he was down a long time. It looked like it was quite serious.
Bit of a break in action once again. Just a reminder, out of town scoreboard, the VI Raiders were victorious early today, 42-0 over the Kamloops Broncos. So Coach Hawk has the boys firing on all cylinders and back to a 1-1 record on the season. Rebels going to be scrimmaging here with a golden opportunity to make this a one-score game as they trail 15-3 here in the third quarter. 2:18 left in the third quarter. A good game here going at West Hill Stadium between two unbeaten football teams. Brown in the shotgun with lots of protection there. Throws the ball. Flags on the play. Falls incomplete over the head of Felito, I believe, on the play. But it looked like he just didn't time his jump that well. The ball was a little bit high, but incomplete on the play, but there is flags on the play.
That could be illegal contact on a receiver.
Wait for Heath Edelson to give this call. It is illegal. No, it looks like a push-off.
Push-off on the Rebels.
Push-off on Felito there. He went up to get the ball, and I just didn't think he timed his jump that well. Otherwise, he might have been able to come down with it, but wouldn't have mattered if it was a fraction against the infraction against the Rebels.
That's a 10-yard penalty.
So the Sun will take the penalty here, so it still will be first down. A little surprised on that one as well. First, it got 3 cracks from the 5-yard line. Thought they might give the ball to Khalil James and let him work his magic and try and get in the end zone. Now they're pushed back around the 15.
Because that's how it helped them get down here. It was James doing some good running.
Rebels needing 7 points here. We get to about 2-minute mark here, third quarter. Needing a touchdown here to cut into the Sun lead. Brown in the shotgun, barks the signals. Pressure looks to be coming off the Sun left. Throws the ball incomplete on the play. Again, under big pressure there. Brown is under, and he just throws the ball incomplete, looking in the direction of Holmes where the ball was thrown behind him.
Well, one thing that's Rebels have tied up this second half is the protection for Brown. The first half, Daly was in there almost every play, and so far this half, he's had some time to throw the football. But he's also, been moving the feet a little bit better, recognizing what type of rush the Sun do have.
So clock is winding here to 1:49 and moving, second down along. Rebels looking to cut into the lead. Brown in the shotgun, sets his feet, throws right on the money and caught by looks like Holmes again. Big, but what a perfect time pass as Brown connects with Holmes. That will cut into the Sun lead as a perfect passing play. He just got inside on the Sun defender.
Yeah, just a quick post pattern, throw it in the hole, and let him catch the football. Here you can see on the replay, he just looks right away. He's looking at Cody the entire way. Just a little quick post inside, beat the defender, touchdown.
Got inside of the Sun defender there, and you noticed on the replay too. Number 1, Nick Daly had a double team action with the back and the offensive lineman there. That cuts the lead down to right as it stands right now. The scoreboard here at West Hill says 15, but it's actually 14. Now he chips it up, chips it through, and the Rebels cut the lead down. Now it's 14-10 for the Westshore Rebels, now trailing the Okanagan Sun.
That's right, 15, because they got a single.
Sorry, it is 15
on the last field goal miss.
So it is 15. We're looking at the scoreboard is correct, and our graphic screen in front of us had 14, but it is actually 15-10. The Okanagan Sun lead. They're still up by a converted touchdown. 5-point lead here. But big, good answer for the Rebels. I think if they came away with 3, obviously that's positive and great, but now you cut it to a one-score game, and I think that's huge for the Rebel offense. It gives themselves some confidence.
Oh, absolutely, and that was there were some penalties that assisted this drive, but it was a good drive, the best drive they've had in the entire game. And it gives you that confidence. Now you're saying, okay, we can do this. We can move the ball on these guys. We can protect our quarterback, and we just got to make the plays. And they haven't taken many silly penalties this half either so far.
So the Rebels will be kicking off here. Minute 37 left in the third quarter. Rebels now getting some momentum. Kicks the ball to their right, down to Cakeley, right around his own 20-yard line. Cuts back, trying to get some positive yards. Now tries to go reverse and go straight upfield. Finally brought down on the play at around the 35, 34-yard line as the Rebels get downfield and limit the return.
Cordell Holder on the tackle there. And again, it just wasn't a very deep kickoff. So it allows your cover team to get down underneath it. And for the Sun returner, Cagle, just get what you can get. You get the ball first down. Because those short kicks don't allow you an opportunity to set a lot of things up.
So Mahler still in at quarterback here for the Sun. Clock is rolling. 1st and 10 Sun on their own 35-yard line. Low snap, bobbled, and finally brought down the play quickly before Provo was in there sniffing out to try and get the fumble. Bobbled snap, and the Sun will be looking at a second and long.
Yeah, just he tries to catch the football, and it's a low snap. Takes your eye off it because you see Provo coming pretty quick through there. So I don't want to get it.
Byron McKinnon was also right there looking to pounce on a potential fumble, but Sun lose 5 on the play. Excuse me, Sun lose 5 on the play, but we'll keep possession. It'll be second and 15.
Well, it's kind of telling, nothing against Mahler at quarterback, but they're a completely different looking football team with Luke's out of there for sure.
Throws the ball, incomplete on the play, looking for Miller down the inside seam. Number 7 came underneath for the Rebels, but Eric Williams, and it falls into the turf, and the Sun now will be forced to kick deep in their own territory.
Yeah, Mahler's had a couple of those, just a little bit too early on the pass. Just, your adrenaline's going, and you put a little bit too much heat on it as well.
Yeah, Sun. I think the Sun are going to need some more points here before this one's out if they want to leave West Hills with a victory here. They better find a way to get some points here because I don't think 15 is going to be enough.
I agree. They've got to find a way to get a first down.
Low snap. Wagner does a good job. Pulls it in, kicks the ball down to about the 50-yard line. Now the Rebel Kane Stevenson finally on the play gets down. Flag on the play, but that is the kicker, so I suspect they'll be picking that flag up. Fans upset here, but the referees, of course, have to throw that flag. And once they recognize that was the punter down on the play, I suspect that will not necessarily be a penalty.
Yeah. It wasn't Isaac's best punt of the day, but gives the Rebels a shorter field.
Yeah, no flag on the play. That was the punter, so no yards against the Sun, and it will be first down for the Rebels at about their 51-yard line. Great field position again for the Rebels to potentially go ahead.
Well, you find out what your team's made of in games like these when you got to come back. And last week, the Rebels showed that they can come back. They came back against a good Langley team to win it.
James straight up the gut, not much there, maybe 2 or 3 on the play as he took a quick handoff and went up right at the teeth of the Sun defense for minimal gain on the play. Late flag on the play as again, it looks like some talking. Somebody's going to get a penalty, and the Rebels pointing in the Sun direction, the Sun pointing in the Rebels direction. Just these are the penalties that make coaches' hair go gray real fast.
Absolutely. Rough play against the Sun. Very uncharacteristic of the Sun to take these type of penalties. They're getting drawn into the to the talk and to the the little bits of things that go on in a football game. But you gotta ignore that. Play when the whistle blows to stop the play. Get up and get back in your huddle.
Yeah, those are the ones that don't make coaches very happy, and that's. I think the S word that they usually use to describe those is selfish, and they won't be happy with that flag at all. So that is the final play of the third quarter. Once again, thank you for joining us on bcfctv.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. Score at the end of the third quarter, the Okanagan Sun 15, the Westshore Rebels 10. Great game here at West Hill Stadium. I think it's going to be a heck of a fourth quarter here as the Rebels have the ball driving into Sun territory.
Oh, absolutely. No, this is going to be a pretty good fourth quarter. Rebels are known for their fourth quarter comebacks over the last couple of years, and they did it again last week. And the Sun just have to, they're the visitors. They're the ones that should be concerned because you don't win that many games on the road. At least most teams, we have balance, but you've got to really step up here. This is where you've got to, don't take any silly penalties like they just had. Stand up, get the ball back, hold on to it, have some positive things going on, but they haven't had any of that going in the entire second half other than that third quarter where they took advantage of Rebels' penalty, but they came away with a single point when they took 3 points off the board.
Sun definitely need to, momentum is definitely in the favor of the Rebels here as we start the fourth quarter. Like I say, I think it's going to be a heck of a fourth quarter here as the Rebels are scrimmaging 1st and 10 on the Sun 40-yard line. Brown under center, play action fake, under pressure, Connor Richard right on him, gets him to leave his feet, but guess who on the play? I think they might call him down. I don't know about this. The Sun think it's a fumble on their ball, but I think the referees are signaling second down and a sack on the play.
Yeah, they go one umpire, or the umpire signaled that he was down. And Yeah,
See, Brown tries to elude Connor Richard here, gets him to leave his feet, which stops his momentum, but guess who was there to bring him down on the play and force what it looked like a fumble and recover it, but referees are saying he was down on the play.
That's
number one, Nick Daly.
Close one, but Daly again, him and Richard all afternoon have been putting pressure on Brown. Well, that was a big play. That's where your Sun defense steps up. Now you got to hold him here. You want to get the football back.
Second and about 17 here, so definitely passing situation for the Rebels. Brown stops, looks to run, flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to have to throw his run. Looks down the field looking for Stevenson. He's got him. Huge play as he gets down near the goal line. And is he in or is he? No, he fumbled the ball. And now the Sun recover it, and now the Sun have the ball. Kane Stevenson looked to be a little nonchalant on that play, and they're saying he's down. Rebels are saying he's down, but he looked to be very nonchalant as he might have been reaching for the pylon.
Well, I think the officials got this one wrong. I think he was across the goal line before that ball came out. And that's all you need is just the nose of the ball across the goal line. It's going to count as a score. Because you can see here in the replay, he's got the step and the white line. And oh, yes, that angle doesn't give it justice. But I think that ball that went across, and that's what the officials are talking about. The number 48, I think it is, he wasn't on top of the play. He wasn't running with the play. So I don't know how they can make that call at that point.
Huge call on the play here, a turning point potentially here. I think it's going to be Sun ball here as their offense is still in the field, but the Rebels are still talking. They are. The Sun look to be happy. That is a huge break for the Okanagan Sun.
Tremendous break, and that again, the Rebels will come back and practice next week. They're going to be having ball security from being tackled from behind because that's how the ball came out.
In fairness to Stevenson, I think he thought I think he thought he had guys coming behind him. And I think he thought if I can just break the plane, I'll get the hands in the air by the referees. But the temptation is to reach for the white line. But you got to make sure. Worst case scenario, I think you got to make sure if you get it at the one, is that such a terrible thing too?
That's correct. And on that last play as well, the Rebels had too many men on the field. So if it was a touchdown, it would have come back.
Sun are scrimmaging now. Great cuts on the play by, wow, look at the run here. Looks like, did I see a flag on the play? No, great run on the play there by the Sun as they get out of their own defense, or get out of their own goalpost there by number 32, Jesse Amalenko.
That was a very nice run. You can cuts back.
He didn't look to have anything, and then he kind of deep to his right, and then he found some open spots.
Yeah, he broke
the powerful runner.
Powerful runner. He's a nice looking runner. And we've got a rough play penalty against the Rebels as well.
Yeah, this is point two where you feel like you had something taken away from you, but if you're the Rebels, you just got to calm down and realize you're still very much in a one-score football game. Keep your composure.
Yeah, it's one of the things, unfortunately, the Rebels fall back on is once they start taking penalties, and you got to wonder how do you win football games all the time? But you come up against a good team, and they're going to take advantage of those penalties. But the Sun haven't taken advantage of those penalties today because they've taken some silly penalties themselves.
Injury on the play. We can't make out a number from our vantage point. It looks like he's getting attended to his calf or maybe ankle from what we could tell. Is that Greenaway by chance? No.
See 38.
The 38. Now he looks to need some help here. Looked like an ankle, or I wouldn't be Greenaway, of course, because he was on the offensive side of the ball. But
he's a big man.
Yeah, it's a little heavier than Deshaun, I think, by the looks of it. He's getting help to his feet here, so we hope he'll be back soon. That's number 99.
99.
Yeah, there we are there. Jemensky, Marissa Lubin on the injured. Now he's being helped off the field.
Yeah, looks
hopefully
like
he'll come back. Looks like a knee or an ankle.
Yeah. Hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully we'll see him before this contest ends. And the Sun are scrimmaging now, 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line. Mahler still in at quarterback. Hands the ball off the right side. Rebels defense plays that one well, holding them to a minimal gain on the play for Jesse Amenkwa, minimal play, minimal gain on first down, but still probably 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, Ingerman on the tackle there, and Provo. Again, the Sun are just gonna, they haven't had any success this half throwing the football. Mahler hasn't been on it. So you're going to see the ball on the ground, and this is where your O-line have to dig deep and say, okay, we've got to make this and push this pile and get a first down, hold on to the football.
Wind picking up a little bit here at West Hills as the clouds come in. Second down at about 8 for the Sun. Hands the ball off to the right side again. Not much on the play, although he squirms looking for an extra couple yards. That was number 32 again on the play. Amenkwa on the play, but it looks to be like he's going to be short on the play.
Yeah, Rebels defense just there. Again, they're full of speed, and they're going to cut you down at some point. And they just eliminated all the escape routes for him and made the tackle, to a short gain.
Forcing the Sun here to throw the ball, not throw the ball on third down. They will be punting the ball on third down, as it'll be third and about 5.5 or 6. Sun will be kicking the ball. Ball's right around midfield. Wagner back deep for the Sun to kick, and Holmes looks to be going deep for the Rebels to receive. Yeah, kicking into the wind here, so Holmes looks to be a little deeper than I would probably have him, even though Wagner's had a couple good punts. He is kicking into a bit of a breeze.
His last one wasn't that deep.
Wagner kicks up, does he?
Look at that.
Bomb, just as we said.
That's got a stewardess on it. Holy cow.
Wow. Great kick driving Holmes right back to his own goal line. Now he's going to be tackled in the end zone. That'll be a safety for the Sun.
They say he got out.
Looks like they say he got out, maybe at the 1, forward progress.
So that'll put the ball on the 20 if he got out. But did he catch the ball there? And
that's the thing. They're going to look at the replay again. I thought he went back in, and his forward progress, the referees are spotting at the 1, but we'll watch on the replay here. I thought he caught the ball out of the end zone. Now once he steps in, now he's going backwards. So
that ball should stay on the 1.
Should stay on the 1 yard line. Yeah, good field position there. You might have been, if you're the Rebels, you might have said give up the single point. Keep it a 6-point game and you get some better field position. But it is still a 5-point lead, but the Rebels now will be scrimmaging on their 1 yard line.
Yeah, and that's where your experienced punter in Wagner, been in the league a couple, 3 years, and just came through and, like you say, put one up. It was a bomb.
Just when we think he wouldn't get one into the wind, he hit a beauty.
Yeah, because his last one wasn't that good with the wind.
Yeah. But he connects here, and the Rebels are in the shadows. I don't even know those are the shadows of their own goalpost. Now they hand the ball off. James off the right-hand side. Positive yards, maybe 2 or 3 on the play. Second and long for the Rebels here. Right at the goalpost, right in their grasp.
Yeah, Tyler Goins came off the edge there on the left side and just made the play. He just zeroed in and stayed low and was able to wrap up the ankle.
Might have a big call here for Charlie Kardalecki if they don't capitalize on this first down. I think you probably have to give up this, although you never know. The Sun aren't moving the ball all that well in the second half. Maybe you punt it and let your defense hold. Hand off the right side again to James. He's going to be short of the first down. Decision time now for Charlie Kardalecki. If you punt the ball away and play defense, or you keep it a 1-score game, or let the lead extend to 7 and take a knee in the end zone for a safety.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough. Yeah, you might see a safety here because 2 points doesn't hurt them. They still have to score a touchdown, and they have the option if you do go up to 2, if it's getting late in the game, to the decision: do we tie it or do we go for the win with a 2-pointer?
Looking at the flags here at West Hills, they've kind of died down a little bit. So,
and they don't seem to be that much of a hurry to come out and punt.
No, very nonchalant.
And a new punter in Jason Piper, not Holmes.
Looks to be short. No, I think you say they're short a man, but they're okay in that regard. It looks to be probably taking a knee here, judging by how his stance is. He does take a knee. That will make the lead. The safety on the play. The Okanagan Sun will now be leading the Westshore Rebels by a score of 17-10. About 10:35 here left in the fourth quarter. Now converted touchdown. The Sun lead by, with, like I say, just over a quarter and a half of football still left. Lots of time, obviously, in this one.
Oh, absolutely. There's again, Sun are going to get the football here with the Rebels have to kick off after the safety, but the Sun haven't shown anything this half so far, and they've now got an opportunity here to make it a 2-score game. The longer you leave the Rebels hanging around, you might be going out of here with a loss.
Yeah, just a reminder, folks, if you are at home tonight and want to see some more BCFC football, please tune in to watch the Langley Rams look to get their first victory on the road against the Valley Huskers, who notched their victory, as we mentioned earlier, over the VI Raiders, a thriller at Exhibition Stadium. So
no other way around.
Sorry,
oh, right, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So the Huskers look to improve to 2-0, and the Rams obviously looking to get their first win of the season for new head coach Matthew Snoop Blocker. So you can bet there will be pressure there for the Rams to come away with a W in Chilliwack, and for the Huskers, just keep it rolling. If they can somehow get to 2-0, good for them.
Absolutely. You know, and for Coach Blocker, you know, back in the BCFC, he's got to get the feel for the type of team he has. They've got a lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches, so they don't know the league that well. And for the Huskers, they got that first win under their belt now, and you get that confidence, that swagger happening.
Big kick goes over the head of Connor Richard, driving him back to about his own 5. Now has to pick it up. He's fast. Look out, Rebels. Here he goes. Cuts and finally dropped down. Good cover on the play. Richard's able to get up to about the 20-yard line as the ball went over his head on the line drive kick by the Rebels.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that he would allow that to happen. It's, you know, a player of his ability to sit that shallow and let that ball go over his head like that.
Yeah, like you say, the Rams looking. Coach Blocker back in the BCFC. Great to have him back. And as most of the coaches say, even if they start with a loss or don't start the way they always say it's a marathon, not a sprint with a 10-game schedule.
Yeah, 10 game, that's the difference between out here in British Columbia. The BCFC plays 10 and the Prairies in Ontario play 8. So that extra 2 games, it just allow you to grow and, you know, to find out where you stand, so a loss early doesn't really hurt you at the end of the day as your team improves.
1st and 10, Rebels sniffing on the run right away. Sea of red, and as he's brought down in the backfield, that was great penetration there by the Rebels defense, and the Sun back is going backwards.
That was a great play by number 44 on the Rebels. That's Lohea Leko that was just cut into the backfield, and there was no escape.
Mankwa had nowhere to go on that particular play. You got to think the Rebels will be teeing off on the run here, and basically saying if we can stop the Sun running game, force them to throw, you got to like their chances if they can do that.
Absolutely, and I would think BD will dial up some blitzes if it's a 2nd and long like it is now, just to put the pressure on Mahler.
Passy situation here. Mahler drops back, looks to his left, now back to the right, throws the ball over the midfield and looks to wait for the call on the play. Sun think they have it. Rebels are signaling incomplete, and the Sun punt team will come back on the field deep in their own end.
Yeah, that's how important that kickoff was. That the ball going over Connor's head. Now it's a long punt now to put the Rebels deep, give the football the Rebels in Sun territory. Now your game complexion changes here.
Absolutely correct there. And Mahler didn't throw a bad pass. He threw it low where only his guy was going to get it, dropped back and found his guy, and ball was just a little bit low, but put in a position where only good things could happen.
I think where Wagner's deep here, he's so deep in the end zone, it's a long snap. He's going to give up the 2 points.
That is a long ways back. The snap is to him, and he gives the 2 points back to the Westshore Rebels, making the score the Okanagan Sun 17, the Westshore Rebels now 12. As the teams have traded, what is that, about 5 safeties so far in this one, something like that, Paul?
That's the 4th safety.
4th safety of this game?
Yeah. Sun have scored 3, and that's the Rebels first.
So the score with 9:06 left in the 4th quarter. The Okanagan Sun 17, the Westshore Rebels 12. Again, now 1 touchdown, and the Rebels are in the driver's seat in this one. It's now they will be getting the ball and should have a decent field position as the Sun comes back out here. Hope you're enjoying today's action. Again, thank you for joining us on BCFCTV.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. Out of town scoreboard again. The Nanaimo, you had to know they would respond well, and Coach Hawking had the boys revved up, and they came away with a big 42-0 win over the Kamloops Broncos. Broncos, very young team, and just finding their way as well, and a lot of new faces there, new quarterbacks and new skill people. So I know they'll get their act together and straighten things out and just get some experience under their belt.
Oh yeah, they got a young team, so it's going to take some time.
Sun will be kicking off here from their own 35-yard line.
It's important here for the Rebels to get a good return. You want to get the ball. I think their return guys are a little bit deep, but unless Isaac can put his foot into this, but they've got to have a good return here.
Good kick by Wegner. Ball does hang up. Stevenson camps underneath it, picks it off the turf very well. Straight up the field, breaks one tackle, then another tackle, then finally dragged down right around in front of the Sun bench, around the 38-yard line or so. Decent downfield coverage by the Okanagan Sun, holding the return.
Yeah, Casey Piper was down there and put the lick on him, but he didn't tie him up, and they only picked up a couple more yards. But it was good coverage again. It was not a bad kick, not a bad starting point, I guess.
Line drive kick worked out okay. Stevenson did a good job picking that one right off the turf. As if that one started bouncing around, he could have been in big trouble.
I would think now you're going to see the Rebels, a little more urgent on some of the things they do. You might see them trying to get the ball into Stevenson a bit more, or Deshaunaway, who really hasn't had, Greenaway, who didn't really have a really spectacular first half because they only threw the ball to him once. So.
Hand off the left side to Khalil James. Big gain there as he grounds the corner, steps out of bounds, looks to be on the other side of midfield, or very close to midfield, and a first down as Khalil James is the right side of the Sun defense, left side of the offensive line for the Rebels, just collapsed, and Khalil James is able to get the corner for a big gain.
Just got outside very quick. They had Connor Richard, number 10, looked inside, had his shoulders turned, and he got the edge and picked up 13.
Running away from, of course, Nick Daly, who was on the left side of the Sun defense, so I'm not sure if that was design or not, but it's probably not a bad idea with the game he's had today. Rebels 1st and 10, right around midfield, straight up the middle again, now into Okanagan Sun territory. Positive yards again, probably about a gain of 4 on the play into Sun territory, bringing up probably about a 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5. It looked like, was that Khalil? That was Ennis Horvath on the carry there.
Yeah, Hayden just up the middle, get what you can get, put your head down and move the pile yourself.
Big play here for the Rebels. Clock winding under 8 minutes, 2nd and about 6 we'll call it, in the Sun territory. Brown in the shotgun. Hasn't had to run much here in the 3rd quarter, or 4th quarter now. But he rolls to his right like that. They get the corner on him, throws, ball is caught on the play and dragged down. First down for the Rebels. That was Felito as he catches the ball and goes down at the Sun 40-yard line. First down, and the Rebels are moving the ball.
Yeah, he just found a hole. He just curled up inside, and with Brown again, he's using his legs, get outside. The protection for him this second half has been really good.
Much better.
Flatham just made the catch in the hole. Nothing you can do with that. So where it is, first down, and Rebels are now knocking on a door. Field goal range to begin with.
Like the play call there for the Rebels as they move Brown around. Early movement looked to have happened. Sun right up the middle and dropped on the play. That looked like Austin Daisy, I believe, roaring into, that was Laura Laco getting in for the sack. I thought there was some
that was Daisy.
It was Daisy on the play? Gotcha.
Yeah, it looked like early motion. Yeah, Austin
Daisy went right in there almost untouched.
Yeah, he was very quick getting across the ball.
Loss on the play, big loss on the play of about 7 yards or so, 2nd and 17. Daisy came in almost untouched there, right up the middle.
That was a huge sack. It's probably about the 5th sack today that the Rebels have sustained.
Passing situation here for the Rebels, 6 minutes, 20 seconds left. Pressure coming again, Brown buys some time, stutter steps, throws the ball away, does get it away, incomplete. Did get it away, looking for a roughing the passer call, but no call on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and probably a punting situation for the Rebels.
Well, again, it was pressure on Brown, and Connor Richard, made the hit on him, and Mason got up looking for the late hit flag, but not to be, and he had no choice but to throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, again, I think they got away from something too. They were running the ball a little bit with Khalil James, had the dive with Ennis Horvath, and I thought they could have kept that going and forced the Sun to stop the run, and elected instead to start passing the ball and went backwards a little bit. Now we're going to be punting the football with just over 6 minutes left.
That was a big defensive series for the Sun. The Rebels are going to be disappointed, but there's still 6 minutes to go, and the way the Sun have been playing this half, the Rebels are probably confident they'll get the ball back.
Good snap, kicks the ball away. Low line drive to the wide side of the field, kind of takes a Rebel bounce. Miller camps underneath it, picks it up, tries to get what he can off the right-hand side, picks up about 7 yards before he's bumped out of bounds, and the Sun will take over probably around their 25-yard line, I would say, 24-yard line. Maybe even a little deeper, maybe at the 20.
and 18, 19-yard line.
Those rugby lines are a little tough to see on that far side of the field.
Oh, absolutely. And the way they got it painted, you know, your eyes go right to the white. It's brand new paint that they put down this year. And it's hard to see the football lines.
So the Sun will take over, and away we go here. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Lots of time left. Mahler at quarterback. Look to be a new back in the backfield. Can't pick out a number yet. Might be Kelton Curry if my eyes are right. Hands the ball off the left-hand side. Positive yards, good yards as the Rebels look to have had him stop. Byron McKinnon looked to have had him stop, but he is able to squeeze through and pick up positive yards. Can't pick out a number there, Paul.
Yeah, it was Curry.
Was
yeah,
it Kelton Curry?
Kelton Curry.
Curry had a good game last week against the Broncos. Haven't seen him much here in this game yet, but positive yards. He picks up about 6 after it looked like the Rebels might have kept the gain to 1 or 2.
Yeah, that was a good run. It was get his shoulders north-south pretty quick. But this is a big down. This down is huge for the Sun right now. They got to get a first down, and you can knock a few more minutes off the clock.
Curry in the backfield still. Mahler beside him. Snap, hands the ball off. Little trap play. Big hole by Curry as he rumbles through it. First down for the Sun as he picked up probably about 7 or 8 on the play. Moving the sticks as he just went straight ahead on a little trap play right behind the puller there and got a first down for the Sun.
Yeah, Provo comes across to make the tackle to limit it to about a 7-yard gain. But it was one of these plays that the Sun needed badly to keep the momentum on their side as the clock's rolling here with 4:25 to go. But the Sun have to keep possession of the football here. And if they're going to move it, they've got to put it in a position where the Rebels have a long field to play with.
Mahler in the shotgun again. Looks to be running. Does hand the ball off the left side. Curry hits the hole again very hard. Probably picks up about 4 or 5 on the play. And you can see a stable of Sun backs. He looks very fresh as he has the first 3 carries in a row here. And actually gained about 6 or 7 on the play.
Yeah,
but he looked fresh.
He just got upfield real quick. And if Ingram didn't get a hold of him, he had about another 6 or 7 he was going to get for sure.
Really nice to cycle through this stable of backs for the Sun as they one after the other just kind of wear you down here with that big O-line.
And that's where you got to rely on that. They put a lot of pride in that and talk about their recruiting on the offensive line. So those are the guys you want to use this in a game like this. Got to move the football, get behind them, and run.
Hand off the right side again. This is Curry around in the corner. Huge gain deep into Rebel territory. Still moving. The pile's still down. Finally brought down at about the Rebel 43-yard line. Curry with another big run off the right-hand side, moving the sticks for the Sun.
He just kept his feet going. And again, his fresh legs in the game. He worked himself to the right. You see on the replay here, it's all just run. Just get behind the offensive line and let them do the blocking, and you just run.
Injury on the play here as the defense might be getting a little tired here as we get close to the 3-minute warning here. Should be a good one next week in Nanaimo, Paul. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it'll be the return of Matt Blocker headed back to Nanaimo to visit his own team where he won a few national championships with the VI Raiders.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think at the match probably, obviously not thinking about it today because he's got a game tonight, but I would think that's the one that he circled on his schedule. His own personal schedule will be an important one. And also a chance for him to, catch up with some of the friends he had up there when he was working with the Raiders. But again, they're there to win a football game, and you can bet the Raiders don't want Matt to walk in and beat him.
No, that's definitely true. And for Coach Snoop, obviously, he just wants the 2 points. He's not too worried about anything from his own personal standpoint. He's all about getting the W, and he'll have the Rams focused after whatever happens tonight. And again, if you can join us on bcfctv.com to watch the Powered by Remax. Just join in, and we'd love to have you. The Rams looking to get in the win column and visiting the Valley Huskers.
Yeah, curl up with the Chihuahua and just put your feet up and enjoy a good game of BCFC football.
Absolutely. Injured Rebel back on his feet. That's good to see. We'll make out a number here as he comes off the field.
Number
25 or 26. Looks like 25, I think it is.
Owen Silver.
Gingerly walking with the Rebels support staff off to the sidelines. Hopefully he'll be back soon as he makes his way to the sidelines. Rebels defense needs a hold here as the Sun are scrimmaging. 1st and 10 on the Rebel 44-yard line. Fans getting into it here, hands the ball off the left side. Good play there by number 17. Late flag on the play as number 17 for the Rebels made a great play, forcing the Sun back to cut back, and the sea of red was there to bring him down after a minimal gain.
Yeah, Tanner Haywood was right in the backfield along with Provo. Provo's having himself a really good football game. So we got a penalty down here, probably hold against the Sun.
Yeah, they are talking to the Rebel defense, so that tells me it's probably either going to be, like you said, Paul, a hold, and they'll have a decision to either decline the penalty and bring up second and long. They do decide to decline the penalty, force the Sun into probably a passing situation at 2nd and 10 here after the no gain on the play. That will be our 3-minute warning here as they'll alert both benches. Big play here on 2nd and long. While we have a second too, just want to give a shout out to Sue Fournier, who was recognized here at halftime. Sue is a longtime executive of the Westshore Rebels, has been around a long time. I know you know her well, Paul, and a great honor and a great achievement for her.
Oh, it is, you know, and we put together the Rick Smoke Award at the CJFL level after Rick Smoke, who was a treasurer for the CJFL for, it's got to be 30 years, passed away a few years ago, and we want to try to honor him, and he was always big on volunteers, and Sue's the #1 volunteer of this organization.
Sack on the play, and Rebels pick it up. Number 44, as there's a tussle breaking out around midfield, but the Rebels are running into the end zone. That is a touchdown. I don't see any flag. Now I see a flag on the play, probably for excessive celebration. There's flags all over the place, but the Rebels on this play, sack on the play, picked up the fumble and ran it into the end zone. I'm guessing we will have to take a minute here to sort all of this out.
It's interesting that Wyatt the Sun, I don't know if it was a mess up on the handoff.
Oh, he rolled out. He was trying to throw, and number 33 got in and knocked the ball out.
You're running the ball. You just ran the football from your 10-yard line to this position here, and then you want to throw the football. I don't understand that one. But if this touchdown counts, then
it does. Number 44, Lego, picked the fumble up probably and rumbled about 50 yards.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Untouched into the end zone. Number 99 is hurt on the play for the Rebels as he gets some help off the field. Hopefully he's okay on the play. A lot was happening on that play, but we'll try and sort out the flags. But the initial indication is a touchdown for the Westshore Rebels, and they now are ahead by a score of 18-17 with the extra point coming.
Now, you know, with the Rebels, man, I'll tell you, they don't quit. They're just like one of that commercial that Timex watch or whatever it is. It just keeps ticking, and these guys do the same thing. They never give up. They keep trying. They keep going. But again, I put some of the fault on the Sun based on the fact that they really had no imagination in their attack this whole second half. And it's unfortunate that Matthew Mahler, has to come in a quarterback with Luke's getting hurt. But again, you've got to have something. And Curry just ran the football down their throats. And then you're going to throw. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that one, Paul. And even as Curry's running the ball with fresh legs, you think to yourself, even on a 2nd and 10 play, hand the ball off, even if you don't get the first down. Kick the ball and play defense.
Yep.
There's no reason. I mean, the defense has been stellar all game with the likes of Connor Richard and Nick Daly. Put the ball in their hands. They could have kicked the Rebels deep. Why put the offense in a position to have something like that happen?
You bet, absolutely.
Now the Rebels going for two. Brown stops, throws, tipped on the play, incomplete as they look to expand their lead to a field goal, but still lead on the play 18-17. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I would, like I say, sometimes in games you have to know and just let your defense take it home for you. And the Sun had the ball right around in Rebel territory and could have easily ran the ball and played field position and relied on a very, very, very stingy defense.
Yeah, and that's what all afternoon their defense has played very well. The Rebels have found a little bit of the key to keeping them out of the backfield the second half with some adjustments to their blocking patterns. But the Sun defense is what had this game in their favor up until that point. So I agree. They got to put it on the defense. But now they got a long hill to climb because they haven't done much offensively in the second half.
And no disrespect to Mahler at all whatsoever. It's early in the season. The offense is probably been catered around Jacob Lukes, and he's coming in here in the second half in a tough situation. And sometimes you just want to let him control the game and kind of guide the game through, and you don't want to have to put him in a position where he has to win it. Absolutely. Now the Okanagan Sun might be in a position where they need to get Muller to go there and win this football game for them.
Well, that penalty, I guess, was a low block on the after we had scored the touchdown on the exchange of the ball. So they're kicking off from their 30, which should give the Sun decent field position if they have a good return.
Connor Richard picks it up right around his own 25. Tries to make something happen, coming back to our left here. Number 18 on the play is trying to stretch him out, holding on. Great play on the play by number 18 as he just forced Connor Richard to keep flexing out. He made a great play and waited for his buddies to come and bring him down. I thought the Sun might get better field position out of that exchange. They were scrimmaged on the 35.
You know, Connor was doing all on his own. He had some blocks, but it just the tenacity of the Rebels defender, Keenan Gross, to make the tackle here. Hang on, just hang on, hang on. Help's coming. So it's just one of those things that now the Sun have to say we've got a football field. We're starting at our 35. We have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. They got to get in at least field goal range.
Rebels fans getting into it as the noise picks up here at West Hills. Procedure on the play, and that'll only entice the fans even further. This will be against the Sun.
They call it timeout Rebels.
Timeout Rebels.
It
looked to have been a procedure there against the Sun, but it was a timeout for the Rebels.
Yeah, they were one guy short on the defensive side.
For the Sun, I still think you keep the ball on the ground and run the ball. They got lots of time on the play.
Absolutely.
Lean on the offensive line, lean on the running backs, let your stable of runners, whether it's Curry or any of them, just keep rolling them out, and then tell your big boys to say, hey, we need you now more than ever.
There's going to be patience. You know, things are going to happen, but they haven't gotten into that rhythm this second half. And when you need it, now you got to do it. And if you haven't been having success with it, it's hard to sometimes as an offensive coach. Okay, what's going to work? What's been working? And you're also at the side looking at the clock, saying we got to make things happen quick. So you got to find that balance to get the first down and still keep the clock in your favor.
Lots of time here. Fans are really roaring now. Sun will be scrimmaging first and 10 on their own 35. Hands the ball off straight up the middle. Good positive run there. Amarenko with the ball and great first down yardage as he probably picked up 9. I like the play call on first down.
Absolutely, and that puts you in a position now where you can run for a first down. Or you do have an option if you want to try to throw the football. You're still close enough to gamble if need be.
Amankwa with 9 on the play there. Bringing up second and 1. 2:26, 2:27. Now we're rolling. I personally would keep the ball on the ground. Looks like a quarterback sneak situation here. Calls his own number, gets positive yards, moves the chains. Flag on the play. Probably either somebody lined up offside or perhaps no end on the Sun.
Yeah, I would suspect that somebody lined up offside.
Both teams, of course, pointing in the other direction. Here's the flag, offside against the Rebels, so probably lined up in the neutral zone. They'll take the penalty as the 5 yards is greater than the gain on that one. So it will be a first and 10 for the Sun as they move closer to their own 50-yard line.
Well, it's also there's a decision to be made how the clock works as well. After a penalty, if you take the penalty, if I remember correctly, the clock shouldn't start until the snap. But if you kept it continuous down, it starts on the whistle.
So they do take the penalty here. Will be first down. Sun on their own 49-yard line. Still lots of time here at West Hills. Sun looking for the potential game-winning field goal from Isaac Wedner. Baller in the shotgun. Hands the ball off again, straight up the middle, like the call again. Positive yards, but the Rebels hanging on for dear life, holding the gain to maybe 2 or 3 as he went right up the middle looking for some more yards.
Again, number 9, Leonardo Ingram has got a hold of his leg and just slowed him down enough to get the help there.
Manko with the carry here. As the Sun bring him back into the game and let Curry have a break here. 2 minutes left to change. Probably getting close to 3-down territory if it isn't already for the Sun. Snap comes. Throws this little swing pass, incomplete. That wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. And that'll bring up third down for the Sun with a minute 54 left. I think you're in a kicking situation here if you're head coach Ben McCauley.
Yeah, I agree. And on that one, Mahler, the play was not a bad play. It was a positive play. It's just that his throw was low again. He's had a couple of low passes, and he's not getting his receiver an opportunity to catch the pass.
Yeah, Sun in a bit of a bind here, as Wagner probably looking for a big kick. We could probably jinx him here again and maybe see if he can get a rouge here and tie the score up. But injury on the play for the Sun, right around their own 50-yard line. I think that's number 9.
Master Damas.
believe, on the play.
He was the
He was trying to catch the ball. He had to dive back. He lost his footing and was having to dive back to the ball. He's slowly coming off, not putting much pressure on that right leg.
So
hopefully he's back soon for the Sun.
So this kick here with Kane Stevenson deep, you know, Kane's going to do his thing, get some positive yards, but Wagner has to have a good punt here, and more importantly, they've got to be good coverage by the Sun. Rebels, on the other hand, will probably try to set up a nice return here, gets the field position.
Snap is good. Wagner, penalty on the play. Wagner hits a high punt, not very deep at all. It is going to come down very short, probably about the 34-yard line-ish. Not a very deep kick on the play, but there is a flag on the play.
Only about a 25-yard punt.
Yeah,
but a flag on the play, and that could be. Well, they're talking to. It's a legal procedure, so you decline that penalty.
Decline the penalty.
You take the football at your own
34-yard line.
Run off the clock, win the football game.
Rebels obviously will now look to be on the back of Khalil James. Might be an opportunity here as they run the ball for Brown to maybe pull one and see if he can get the corner on the Sun defense. They might not be expecting it, thinking they're going to get a stable of Khalil James.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, because I think if you're going to run James, then you've got to make sure you do threaten something on the edge, and that might just be Brown pulling it out, doing a bootleg or something. But also, you don't want to run your quarterback into the ground to get himself hurt.
That is very true. And Brown is in the shotgun here. Ennis Horvath and James in the backfield. Two receivers to either side. 1:47 left as we look to get it underway here. Snap, handed off, straight off the right side. Good hole there. Connor Richard closed it, but James is able to sneak through for probably about 6 yards on the play as he got the right side, as that kind of right side of the Rebels offensive line did a great job, created a hole.
Yeah, they've changed their blocking pattern in the second half, and they've been able to have success against the Sun defensive line, and they're also running right at Daly, or making sure that they stay away from him.
Yeah. That one there running to the opposite side, which is not a bad thing. That's the only thing about pulling it, is if you pull it and try and go around the other way, old number 1 will be standing right there.
Oh yeah, and an intelligent football player is not going to let that happen.
2nd and 4, big play here. Brown, quick drop, quick throw, skips it to Greenaway, incomplete. Just didn't step and throw into that one. He won't be very happy with himself, as he had Greenaway for a first down. That just wasn't a very good throw by Mason Brown on that one, and the Rebels will be forced to kick.
Kind of surprised the Rebels through there. You know, they've got the score in your favor, clock's in your favor. Even if you run another play, you might have an opportunity to go for it on 3rd down, because they've been having success in the up run of the middle today. So,
yeah, it was what they probably thought was a safe little curl or a little stop route by Greenaway. And you know what? The Rebels probably complete that 95% of the time in practice. And unfortunately, you think that's a nice, easy way to get us 5 or 7 yards in the first down. And unfortunately for Brown on that one, just wasn't one of his better throws on the play. And skip the ball to Greenaway, bringing up a punting situation.
This is where Piper needs a good punt.
Blocked on the play, huge block on the play. Thompson got it. The Sun falling at number 24. Huge defensive play. I believe it was
Kitzman. Ty Kitzman.
Sorry, it was number 6. Ty Kitzman with a huge block for the Sun. And they are in very good shape for a potential game-winning field goal here. Massive play by Kitzman. I think it came off the far side.
Right up just off the Rebels' left edge.
What a play as he got in and extended himself, and Ty is a tall guy and made a great block on the play, as that is an absolutely huge special team play for the Sun. Setting themselves up deep in Rebel territory.
He was a bit closer to the line of scrimmage as well, punting that ball.
Now the Sun looking for the game-winning field goal as they're on the Rebel 32-yard line. Baller in at quarterback, hands the ball off. Curry gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard on the play, but still, hand the ball up to Kelton Curry. Flag on the far side of the field. Not sure what that might be. I'll have to wait. Probably offside against somebody, based on where it's thrown. The Sun defense, the Rebel defense stiffened there and holding the Sun to maybe a loss on the play.
No, that was a good defensive stand right there for the Rebels. This is where, again, you're putting the game back into where you feel comfortable. And the Rebels, both defenses play very good football. Both are very mobile.
Big block on the play again. If you just missed it by Ty Kitzman, turning the tables and maybe giving the Sun an opportunity for a last-minute field goal.
Not sure where the penalty is here, but talking
to the Sun, which you would think might be maybe an offside against the Rebels. Rebels defense is backed up a little bit too, which suggests they might think it's coming. The referee and the umpire might be walking in their direction. It is offside against the Rebels.
That's a lot of discussion for an offside penalty.
I know. Yeah, that has definitely been true. As the ball now will be placed around the 27-yard line. 1st and 5. Have to think you're going to see a steady diet here at Kelton Curry for 2, maybe even 3 downs if the Sun have to. Mahler in the shotgun though. Hands the ball out to Curry, straight up the gut. 44 was right in there. They're playing it definitely on that one, but no gain on the play. Maybe even lost a yard as the Rebel defense was zeroed right in on Kelton Curry.
Lacko came, he was first in. They just put him on the blitz, the linebacker. He was right in the backfield. Make something to do. Help coming. Lots of guys. Byron McKinnon there, number 8.
And you see this, in my opinion, is when you're at the Sun, be under center here and hand the ball off. The run fake option is not going to bite anybody, and Mahler's holding the ball out like he might pull it, and the Rebel defense isn't even remotely honoring it. So to me, get under center, let the running back hit the hole with some speed, and not worry about trying to have a run pass option out of the shotgun position. As the Rebels are just crashing right in there. They didn't even play, they didn't even honor the pull.
We're slowing down here.
Hands the ball off. Curry, big hole at the right side. Positive yards. I think he's going to be, Sun think he has the first down. It's going to be very close as Curry got off the right side with a great run on 2nd down. And he should be very, very close to the first down as we're under 47 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Just in between the guard and the tackle on the right side, and get to the run an angle. Make guys come and get you.
Injury on the play. Looks like number 44 is down for the Rebels, so they're going to measure this. Hopefully the injured player isn't in the way there, but hopefully he's okay.
Lacko down on that play. He's made some good plays this afternoon. Looks like it could be a cramp.
It looked like they're tending to a shin, maybe ankle area. Looks to be okay, so it might just be a cramp there as he looks to be getting to his feet now. Big measurement here as we look to see if it's the Rebels seem to think they're short. Both teams again pointing in the other direction. And they Sun have an Okanagan Sun first down. Big first down there as now the Sun are going to force Charlie Karlicki to start using his timeouts to try and get the ball back here.
Well, we'll
big
see
first down there.
Are they playing to see if the game can be won off the toe of Wagner, or are you going for touchdowns?
Yeah, I like your first option here, and just grind the ball out, do what you can, put the ball where you want in the middle of the field, or whatever hash Wagner wants to guys comfortable kicking from, and rely on a veteran guy to get you 3 points and a victory. Mahler in the shotgun. Amwanka behind, flags on the play. He does get off the right side, trying to get the corner, finally brought down on the play with 34.5 seconds left. There are flags on the play. This might be offside. This might be against the Sun on this one.
I thought number 85 was an 85 that stepped up the line and then stepped back there. Might have been.
Oh, no, sorry, it is against the Rebels. Offside against the Rebels. They will likely decline this one, I'm assuming.
First down.
As it was longer yards than what the penalty would be. See what the Sun decide to do here. Rebels have to be starting to think about timeouts here and holding to a field goal and maybe having a couple kicks here of their own to get the ball deep in Sun territory.
Well, you know how tough it is the closer you get to the goalpost and the sharper angles off the half.
Absolutely.
So you got to make sure you run your football so it's like kicking a convert.
Yep. So 34.5 seconds left. I know there are some timeouts. I think each team has.
I think they got one each.
At least I was going to say one each, I believe.
And they took the penalty here, so the clock is not going to start till the snap.
So 1st and 5, it looks like, for the Sun. Mahler still in the shotgun. Hands the ball up, straight up the gut. Missed tackle on the play by number 9. Number 32 with a really good run on the play. That was Amwenka again on the play as he gets deeper and deeper towards the Rebel goal line.
Yeah, just again, they put the ball behind the big boys and say, we need you guys to keep your feet moving and get in front of some of the Rebels. They're going to run up these holes here, and that's a good blocks. All the white guys on the red. That's a very well designed play.
One missed block on the line of scrimmage and positive yards. Now here we are again. Hands the ball up straight up the middle. Rebels defense stiffens here, and there's not much to do. Finally dragged down. This time you're just saying hold the ball and don't let anybody strip it out of you.
Yeah, I think the Sun are going to take their timeout now. I think I might kick the football now on second down.
And then if there's a bad snap, you can always reload and kick it again.
Absolutely.
So if I'm the Sun, it is a timeout on the play for the Sun. And like you said, second down makes sense. Whoa, had a water boy hit the dirt there for a second, but he's okay. Here he comes. The Sun, we're looking on second. It is second down now. The benefit of kicking it here is if it is a bad snap or you don't like whatever happens, the guy can easily take the ball down to the ground. You can reload on third down. That's the benefit. Obviously, the downside is that if you do kick it here, you might give the Rebels one play, but I like kicking it on second down personally.
Yeah, it looks like Mahler's back in though, so it looks like they're going to run a play probably to their left to set it up between the goalposts.
Well, that's the second time. He's excited. Head coach Ben McCauley coming out to give a hand there.
Sometimes we're not used to running on this turf. You catch your feet, and even walking on it sometimes it gets a little cushy. And
yep, Mahler looks to get in the shotgun here. Hands the ball to the left. Is definitely they want to get the ball in the middle of the field. He's going nowhere, probably loses a yard. Sun won't care about that, as the ball now is positioned right in the middle of the field, and the Sun burned their last time out. Now the ball is right in the middle of the field. This is a kicker's dream, basically, with 11.5 seconds left.
Well, Isaac's heart's pounding a little bit right here. This will be his fourth field goal try today, I think.
Got to think the Sun will be, or the Rebels will be coming for the block, obviously, here. In this case, the beauty, obviously, with the shorter field goals, you don't need, your timing can be real quick because you don't need to hold a lot of distance here. So Wagner can almost one-step this and bang this through the uprights if he's smart. Fans rooting on the Rebels here to block the kick and hopefully have a stand here. Sun looking for the potential game-winning field goal. 11.5 seconds left. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. Kick is through. No! Whoa! One referee is signaling. Wow! That is wide left. Paul, it looked like one of the referees on the one side of the post put his hands up in the air, and then the other referee on the back one said it was no good. Wow. As he misses what was a very short field goal, plenty of distance, he just shanked that left. That's a tough call for Wagner.
So the Rebels take over the football to 35. We got an 18-all score.
And staring at a potential tie game, how does that make for future tiebreakers as we sort things out as the season progresses?
Absolutely. And it's only the third tie in their history. This is the 56th game that they played against each other, and it's the third tie. Interesting.
That is tough. As one of the referees looked to a signal that was good, and the other referee on the side that it was missed by immediately signaled it was wide. That is a tough break for the Okanagan Sun on that one.
Typical of the game today, too, though. You know, a lot of missed opportunities on both sides. So the Rebels have a chance here for one play, throw it up.
Likely the last play of the game. Brown drops back, looking to probably heave one up. Hope for a pass interference call. Doesn't get much on this. It's thrown up. Ball is incomplete on the play, and that looks to be it. There's no flags on the play, and that is the final score. What a game here at West Hill Stadium, folks. The final score, much to the chagrin of some people who are probably thinking overtime might be coming, but the final score, the Okanagan Sun 18, the Westshore Rebels 18 as well. We have a tie. Not an everyday occurrence, like you mentioned, Paul, in the BCFC.
No, it's very rare for ties in the BCFC. But again, like I said, this was what this game was built into. You know, like they're two good football teams. The Sun especially left a lot of missed opportunities on the field, and the Rebels they didn't have their offense clicking until the second half. So kudos to the Rebs for the tie, kudos to the Sun for the tie, and both teams definitely are going to be at workouts this week talking about the missed opportunities that they had in this game.
Who do you think feels this one more? Do you think both teams feel like this is a loss, or do you think somebody's coming out of here making this feel like a win, or are both teams happy, or are both teams disappointed?
I think the Rebels are looking at it as a victory because of the way they came back in the second half, and the Sun probably, you know, are a sigh of relief. Basically, they didn't lose the game, but know deep down that they should have won the game. And I know I don't want to be a player with either of these teams on how we played today when I got to go to practice tomorrow, because they might do a little bit of running for all the penalties they took.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Sun, they were without their starting quarterback, Jacob Lukes, in the second half. That played a role into it. That forced the Sun into a ground game, and the Rebels were able to play some good defense. I think in this one too, I think the Rebels have to feel pretty good that they did come back. They got their offense going a little bit in the second half there. They made some plays. They got the ball into their playmaker hands. Although you want the win and you want the 2 points and give yourself the advantage, a tie doesn't hurt you necessarily, doesn't help you per se, but I think they probably feel pretty good about themselves.
I think so, and it's going to set up a really interesting game next time these guys play, which will be in Kelowna in September. So it's going to be one of those things that could come down to if these teams who everybody's picking to finish 1-2 in the league, it could be the game up in Kelowna and in September that decides who's going to host
the Sun come in
championships.
Absolutely, the Sun came in with lots of hype, and I think they delivered on the road. I think they just didn't make the final plays when they had a chance, and I don't think Ben McCauley will be too happy with the penalties, and it's uncharacteristic of them. And I think he'll be saying, guys, we took the gun out and shot ourselves in the foot a few times today. That might be the message he gives to his troops, and just talking about missed opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely, and a game like this too, it also it creates a whole different feel for your opponent. Again, you know, when you're against them, is now you know that we can play with these guys, but we got to give them the respect that they can also roll over us.
Round one, obviously, we were hoping to declare somebody a victor in round one. Unfortunately, we can't. Once again, we have a tie at West Hill Stadium. Doesn't happen very often, but the Okanagan Sun tie the Westshore Rebels 18-18. Once again, I'd like to thank Paul Short for joining me today, and I'm Tyler McLaren. I'd like to thank all you out there for joining us on bcfctv.com, powered by Remax Kelowna. If you are available tonight, there's a heck of a game in the Valley. The Valley Huskers 1-0, hosting the Langley Rams 0-1. Should be a great game. It's at 7 p.m. We'd love for you to join us at bcfctv.com. On behalf of Paul Short, I'd like to sign off from West Hill Stadium, and thank you once again for joining us on bcfctv.com. Good night, everybody.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. Ah, I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.
Down on field, level after an 18-18 tie between the Okanagan Sun and the Westshore Rebels, joined by Rebels defensive coordinator Shane Beatty. Shane, how do you feel after that game? Does that feel more like a win or a loss?
Well, to be honest with you, we 2 block punts there, and late in the game, it just really kills you, right? But for the kids to come back to that, and obviously missed field goal hurts Kelowna as well, but that's 2 great defenses. That's the 2 best defenses you're going to see in this league, and competition between the head coaches and the staff is really nice to see.
Battle of two halves. I think. I thought you guys really responded well.
Yeah,
made some big plays again. Emotional game. I thought you guys
fumbles
well.
the ball there to going in the end zone, and then the punt block. I mean, Kelowna really did a good job on special teams. And Coach Mullard, nice job on your special teams, buddy. Defense, I thought my defense played tremendous.
So what do you say to the team? What do you think the feeling is amongst the guys as they head into the locker room?
Let's just keep getting better. We're going to get everybody back healthy. Jamil didn't get to play. He's probably the best player in the league, in my opinion, him and Tan on that side. And we got some other kids coming in, so we're going to be ready to rock.
Ready to rock? Rematch up in Kelowna in September. How big is that one?
Yes, sir. Huge.
All right. Marbles. Thanks for joining us. That was Shane Beatty, the defensive coordinator of the Okanagan Sun, down on field level. Once again, just signing off from the BCFCTV.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tyler McLaren from the BCFC. Good night.